Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time again, Tuesday down here in Texas and wherever you're listening from. It's episode number 147 of From the Sidelines podcast. It's a paintball podcast that doesn't really talk about paintball. We got another special guest for you tonight, and we're going to be interviewing them, talking about some more fun things that are going on, like our boy Marcelo. Well, he's got a new team, and we'll talk about that later on in the pod. But before we do, let's bring in our co-hosts. We got Brando, Baird. Buddy, how you doing? You rocking the DMG dry fit? You getting sweaty in there today? Is it just really hot? Or
dude, it's 90 degrees up here already. Yes, it's bad.
It was
it's pretty
around
bad.
this time of the year that we killed your GoPro. Like, you had good video for a while, and people don't know this.
Yeah, no, fucking fried it up here.
It was live during a podcast.
Yeah, it completely went dead. California necessarily wasn't super hot, but it's just hot in here because, you know, that's what happens when you live with people that didn't grow up with AC. So
fair enough. So shout out to your Latina wife. All right, Stephen Hatch, our other co-host. How you doing, buddy?
Here we go. Like I said in the pre-show, hey, we're running that Elden Ring shirt, dude. Plus 10 faith. You know what I'm saying? Make me a believer. So we're back. I'm a believer to get to 150. You know what I'm saying? At least.
150 isn't even a. It's
not
nothing.
even a challenge. That's not even a
156 is the one we're looking for.
Oh,
you know why?
That's
the
3 years.
3-year anniversary. Yeah. And you know what we're going to do? Nothing. It's a 3-year anniversary. What the fuck do you want? All right. We celebrate 1, we celebrate 2, we celebrate 5, we celebrate 10, we celebrate 20, and we celebrate 25 and 50. That's it. Okay.
And the show ends.
Yeah. No, we're gone.
The show ends at 50.
Let's be real. We're never getting to 50 years.
Peace out, y'all.
Math. Brando, do the math while I'm doing our ad reads. How long is that going to be? But that is a great segue into our lovely ad reads because, fellas, we got a little bit of a shakeup tonight. We're going to start out in a little different order. We're going to go first to our boys NECTR Energy, a familiar face on the show, NECTR.energy, the premier energy pouch. You can throw them in your lip, get buzzed up and energized, ready to go. They got a caffeine and a neurotropic in it. It may look similar to a nicotine pouch, a Zen, something of that sort, but there is no tobacco, there's no nicotine in this product. Very high quality stuff, great flavors. You can check it out at like I said, NECTR NECTR.energy, promo code MafiaProductions, all one word at checkout for a buy 2 get 1 free. And yeah, there's some great guys over there. We love their support on the show. They've been with us for a while, and it's a great product. We all use it over here, so we recommend you go try it out for yourself. Next up tonight, we got the fan favorite, Welts Clothing. Ran into these guys down in USXBL. They had their own booth for the first time, so was able to talk with Corey for a bit, as well as Scott. So that was great. Finally was able to put a face to a name for other people behind the brand of Welts, because, hey, we knew it wasn't just the boy Scott Stewart, but he's a big part of it, and so it was cool to see the other co-owners out there. Welts, they got awesome stuff. It's going to be dropping every first Wednesday of the month, which is Welts Wednesday, so make sure you head on over there. Brando is trying to flash us on his camera.
Show the cheeks.
Got the Welts shorts.
Yeah.
He's just showing off the shorts. Almost look like old school Nike Pros. I kind of fucks with those. I love those. Yeah, no, that's like 2010s era. That's like my
Nike
shit.
Elite.
Yeah, and that's what they make, because they make awesome elite stuff. You can go check it out at weltsclothing.com. Promo code FTS saves you some money at checkout. Go support the boys down here in Texas doing great things for the local community, as well as just, you know, paintballs as a whole. And guys, well, if you listen to last week's episode, you know where this one's coming from. First new sponsor we've had in maybe a year and a half. It's been a while.
At least.
But guys, I'm happy to say this podcast is also proudly brought to you by Hormesis Paintball, as well as Hormesis Productions.
I did not watch last week's episode. I had no idea.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Alex essentially wanted us to do it on the pod. He came right out.
There we go.
That's some great timing for our off-the-screen guest right now. But yeah, boys, Hormesis Productions, Hormesis Paintball, we love all the stuff they're doing, whether it's their branded apparel, whether it's their headbands, or whether it's just the stuff they're doing in the paintball event. It's paintball community itself. The one-on-one recently just wrapped up with already announcements for new one-on-one events going on soon. soon. So it's cool. They're promoting a lot of awesome stuff. We're very happy to be pushing that brand with ours over here on From the Sidelines. So Hormesis Paintball, go check it out. HormesisPaintball.com. We are going to be having some stuff showing up here shortly. You know, it's this is in the works here, but there will be some giveaway items, some stuff that can go out to you, listeners of the podcast. Make sure you stay tuned. And thank you to the the fathers over at Hormesis Paintball.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's great. Thank you, daddies. All right, moving forward, boys, let's bring in our guest for tonight. Fan of the show, longtime listener.
Love this guy.
First time caller. In fact, I've known this guy for quite a few years at this point. Very great guy. I mean, just a staple of the divisional media field for quite a while. Recent years, he's been able to step over, get his brand into the professional side, and a lot more people are starting to repost and post his content, as they should, because it is fire stuff. My friends, we've got a fellow media guy, one of my favorites in the business. Just a great guy to see because he's always smiling. Ladies and gentlemen, Smiley Joes Photos. He's in the building. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you to be here, bro. Seriously.
For people that didn't know, Brando showed his thighs, and they looked so much better than when I was showing my Hormesis shorts. Brando's thighs beat mine.
Ginormous.
So, ginormous.
Which is, I mean, it's scary because Joe, runner, so you definitely have got some good, legs. You've got leg strength going on there. Brando, what have you been doing, bud? You've got the sleeper build rocking. I feel like our podcast listeners don't
Atlas
realize
cosplay.
how
It's the wife. It's the wife. I'm telling you, it's the wife.
Yeah, exactly. Joe's on it. She keeps me in line. She makes sure I look good for her.
Make sure you're taking all your supplements.
Damn
all 6
straight.
pills a day.
Hell yeah.
All your
6.
trend,
No
all
more,
that
no
jazz.
less.
3 in the morning, 3 in the night now.
No, it's also probably my proportion, right? Because I'm what now? 4'10", right? So my closet just
like 4'8". We'll call it that.
You're thick.
Okay.
I was going to be
Brandon,
generous and be like, maybe 5'1".
I'm going to cut in with a story from USXBL here. There was a couple people in Austin Odie this weekend who were like, is Brando really that short? Like, they were asking. And what's hilarious to me, and Lopez brought it up too, he's like, guys, Hatch is only like 2 inches taller. Like, it's not
Hey, 2
like
inches
he's
is 2 inches, dude.
taller than him. Like, it is a very close race.
Hey.
He just somehow gets away with it. So, no. Brandon, how tall are you actually? Let's give the real government number for 1 minute, and then we'll go back to calling you short as fuck.
I am 5'7" and like 5'8" or something like that. I'm just under 5'8".
So
With the
essentially
5'8".
4'6". So that's why he can play paintball so well, and we love him. He's our little pipsqueak, and he wants his uppies. But yeah, he's got a great build going on. Spending a lot of time in the gym. So shout out Brando Baird. There's your applause for that.
The beast, Brando.
But let's get back to our guest, Smiley Joe. Man, all right, first things first. If people don't know you, who the hell are you, bro? What do you do? What is your niche? Where are you from? What is a little bit of the background of Smiley Joe?
Well, I'm actually no one to throw that out there, but
Well, you're
so
everyone
I'm
to
Joe.
me. I just want you to know that.
Me
Well,
too.
I'm honored. The only people that matter right now. That's right.
The
So
people that
I'm
matter
Joe.
are all in this video call.
Damn, I love you, bro.
So I'm from the Northeast. I'm from Massachusetts. If people instantly think,
Boston,
so you're
Mass.
Boston, you're from Boston, guys. No, I'm from Worcester. So from Central Mass. Been around paintball since like
It's
07.
funny because Joe, you don't normally have a Mass accent, but then you say a town name in Massachusetts, and it's like, okay, all right, it's back.
Yeah.
It's wild because I try not to like have an accent, and like when I've traveled abroad too, people are like, you don't sound like you have an accent, and I'm like, oh shit, I actually have to like put on a little accent right now, and it's like, all right, well, park your car, like the simple, like stupid, the simple Boston
Put your khakis in the
phrases.
khakis or some shit, yeah.
Yeah, so a simple phrase, and they're like, oh, now that's where it is, and it's like, okay, now I can go back to talking normal.
But then the panties drop, so it's it's a go-to move.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, dude, okay, well,
Accent
the
gets me flustered, bro.
the accent, it's more towards the moms that were looking for the panties to drop. But,
That's
Amen,
right, I'm
dude,
Patches Lane. What do we?
As a man who has a womb broom himself, you know what I'm saying, on my face, I'm in there,
Hey,
brother.
Joe.
Jesus,
We
boys, we're 10
salute
minutes
men
in.
like you, Joe.
hot moms MILF Mondays. That's
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Monday, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
and we
Dollar make y'all.
we got that will definitely wake you up, and it's like it's so funny. Like there's just something about good-looking moms. Like it's, and then there's gilfs, but like gilfs are what MILFs aspire to be. But yeah,
I completely agree with you.
Based off this interview so far, what I've learned about Smiley Joe from Massachusetts: loves MILFs/GILFs, loves Nerds Gummy Clusters, and that's about fucking it. So,
we can cut the interview right there. No more.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I mean, what more do we need to know? But let's get back to some real stuff, because we are towards the beginning here.
Yeah.
We're getting a little crazy here, boys.
Okay.
I would like to hear, so you're growing up in Massachusetts. Did you start getting into paintball early? Was it kind of a later thing for you? And then was it more maybe media first? Was it more playing first? Kind of what was the balance there?
So it's kind of interesting how I got involved with paintball. So like I've started playing in '07. I had a buddy that
He's legit.
Yeah, who is legit, Joe Riley. He got me into it. We were playing this like youth, or like everybody has like those youth groups at church that go and do like, oh, every Tuesday night we're gonna go play team volleyball. We're gonna go play dodgeball.
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, you should come try out paintball. Like, I think you'd like it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he took me to Fox 4 Paintball in Upton, Mass. 187 crew.
Northeast, like freaking.
Right. So
gems.
most people don't. Yeah. So the Northeast, Fox 4 Paintball is where 187 crew had come out of. So that's the field that I went to play at, and then played there starting '07 up till like 2017 was like the last full season I actually played. '08 I started to like take up photography, and that was actually like an accident of taking photos and such. My mom was taking a photography course with my sister at college. It was a summer course. Everybody gets if you work at the university, you get courses for free. So my mom was like, hey, here's a cool time. Like, my sister's going off to college. And my mom's like, here's like one last time that we get to do something together. So '08, they went to Clark and did this summer photography course. So problem was, my mom couldn't look through the viewfinder and couldn't see what was in focus. So I was like very hands-on, and I'm like, oh, like, let me play around with this camera, mess around with it, and started taking photos. So the first week of classes go by, she's like using my photos and not telling me. And the professor's like, holy shit, Luann, these photos are amazing. So it took a couple of weeks for my sister to then reveal to me that my mom was using my photos, and the professor was like grading them very high. So I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Like,
little confidence booster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then I started to like dabble in the photography side of things from '08 as well. So I was more focused on playing from, like I said, '07 to 2017, 2018. But then like 2018, 2019, I really started to make that push to photography. And then obviously the COVID year happened. People disappeared from the field and didn't want photos. And I was like, there was photographers that said, hey, I'm going to show up to the event and photograph, and then did not do that for like 2 events. And I'm like, you're stupid. Like, there's all these people that want photos. Like, give the people what they want. Show up to the field, take photos. People are going to be like, all right, like, we want to hire someone to capture our memories. So let's hire a photographer. So I showed up back to the field.
Brando's getting beat off cam. He talked too much already this episode, so we're just gonna get that settled.
All right, nice seeing you, Brando.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, but yeah, so so then in 2020, mid around July or so, I started to really get back into the paintball scene and photographing that. And then since then, we're working our way up through the divisionals, and then now going on to like hopping between semi-pro and divisionals and pro. So that's how I got involved with.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know, like I got lucky where like I went to Capitol Edge just randomly because that was my backyard field, and then okay, Dave Baines is there, and that's a pretty good intro if you have talent to get into the pro side. But one of the things that I think stands out most about Smiley's story is this man, every time I saw him for years at events, he was just, red divisional pass, trying to make it work, taking as many teams as he could, doing a killer job, also learning a lot too. I honestly think, Joe, in the past like 4 or 5 years, because not just your eye, you've always had a good eye, but now your editing is kind of matching that. And I think your talent level as a whole has gotten up. And so it's cool to see, because that's always what I preach to people. The only way you get better is doing it. And it may suck. You may not be at the level you want to be at, but if you want to get there, you just work and keep doing something, and people will eventually notice and give you an opportunity.
Yeah, and to add on to that too, Ryan, is like you guys in one of your previous episodes had talked about like PB Fit and like them doing reps. The thing with it, if with anything, is like if you want to get good at doing something, you have to put in a ton of reps. And the thing is like you can put in really shitty reps too. So going off of like the quality expanding up. So you can put in a lot of reps, and if they're not of quality, it doesn't do you any good. You're just digging a hole deeper for yourself to try to refix later on. So one thing that I always was doing with my photos and such is like, okay, I just need to be working on one thing at this time to hopefully carry over into another area that is going to eventually, it's building a pyramid, right? It's like you're building wide, and then you're slowly building it up. Like a lot of people with me,
flip the pyramid upside down, and then you draw money from the levels to the lower levels, and then oh wait, shit, this is illegal.
And then you bring a couple people in, and then
because you need new money, but then they have a downline, so they bring people above them who then are also incentivized to bring in more people. So it's an
and then you start doing
glitch.
A lot less. It just is a great model.
It works perfectly. But no, I like that kind of metaphor of like stacking the pyramid, because you need that base of like foundation. And, a lot of that is not something you can get by just doing reps. You need to learn what is proper exposure and stuff. But then once you have that base, it's a lot of getting out there and testing and, realizing situations and understanding, shit, cloud cover's happening today, I need to adjust my white balance for this. And then, okay, now I know that, shit, I want to try cool things now. I want to do stuff like long exposures with super long, wide open apertures. So that way you get these really cool, interesting looking shots. It's you don't get there day one. You have to build up to that. And I mean, credit to Michelle, freaking, Brandon and Michelle, they've been doing so much with camera work recently. But like those headshots that Michelle posted, those are great. Those look so much better than the stuff she was posting even 6 months ago. And I know in 6 months it's gonna look even better.
Even
she's been
6
out
weeks
there
ago, it's
every
like
weekend.
every single
weekend.
time she's like getting on the computer to edit, dude, it is getting higher and higher quality. No joke. And it's just awesome.
And that's the secret, guys. Like everyone asks me, how do you get good? That is what it is.
And the wild thing too is like sometimes it's like in that time frame it's only one person might say one thing to you, and it's like I've been doing all this wrong for so long, and then someone says something to you, and it just is like,
hey Joe,
why?
That was me 2 years ago with Dan Napoli. He said a sentence to me, and I realized I'd been doing my coloring wrong since I started filming. That was about 8 years of my life, and I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass. Thank you, Dan Napoli. And like since then, I feel like my colors have been way better. But it's like you don't know what you don't know, which is one of my favorite quotes. Yeah. And yes, you need to take those things and learn it. But that's why YouTube is your biggest friend. It really does give you a lot of information on there. But that is kind of the beautiful thing with paintball. You have these events where you're going to be around other people in this niche who are more than happy to talk about this niche. If you ever see Dan Shelley in the wild and you have a question about photography, if he doesn't have like a team that second, he will give you a 5-minute explanation of
he will.
His thought process, what he does in editing. Like, he is more than happy to share that stuff. Verbal is the reason I know a majority of my editing tics with Premiere, a lot of the stuff that I do with camera tricks now. Hell, the reason I use like really high shutter speed now to capture paint in the air is from verbal. I wouldn't have known that trick if he didn't mention it to me 3.5 years ago. So it's one of those things like, yes, it helps to work with those people, but you also need to gain it for yourself too, because that's when it locks in. You kind of gain that muscle memory for yourself.
Right, and to attach it, the big thing is the emotional attachment that you have during those, because a lot of people just do the reps without emotional attachment, and it doesn't stick. So it's like, as you're doing something and learning something, and maybe that's why sometimes certain photographers, videographers, they don't improve. It's like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I don't have any attachment to it. But as soon as, and it's same with like playing wise, is like if someone does a move and it's the wrong move and they have no emotional attachment to it, then they're going to keep doing it and screw everybody else over on the field. And it's like, okay, you have to build, like, I mean, as much as this like emotional attachment is, we're talking about media wise, it's also playing wise. Like a lot of people don't realize like everything carries over. It's a very holistic way with media, playing, off the field. It's not just, we're not just standing behind a camera doing basic simple shit. It's like there's reasons why we do certain things, and it's to build up. Anyways, I'm
no, you're. I love it, Joe. We love when we have guests who actually talk and jump into the conversation.
And one thing I want to say that I thought you were talking about, were shitty reps, right? And a perfect example I can give of that, dude. If you practice 1,000 sloppy snapshots, dude, when you're in the game, dude, your snapshots are gonna be sloppy, and I like what you said, where it's like you have to have meaningful reps, because if you don't, you are going to be trained in the art of mediocrity, if that makes sense. And
100%.
I really like what you're saying with that, Joe, for sure. So another question. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Tax.
No, you go ahead, bro.
No, I will sit here and wait.
Oh my God, this guy.
So I'm going to jump in because Hatch, you're going to go to a different topic. Talking on this, like one of the other things, speaking of that pyramid metaphor, is like just even learning the game of paintball. Like there's probably media out there who maybe played D5 or, maybe played a bit themselves, or maybe they're a girlfriend or a wife of someone who plays and they never really played themselves. But like, dude, I am so much better at filming paintball today than I was when I started 8 years ago. And a lot of that is, filming, but a lot of it also is just understanding the game of paintball and being able to read the situations and see, little things like game situations. Okay, 1 point down, 45-second point. Team A is going to be running to try to get that point. Let's set up by Team B so we can see that action happening. Or even, the more micro stuff of like, all right, it's now a 3v5 situation. It's a pro match. That guy in the back center is going to want to fill over here because he realizes he needs to fill this gap. Let's set up a shot for that. And all of that just comes from going out there and doing it, because you don't pick that stuff up by playing necessarily as much. It's more of observing and being able to anticipate the game, almost more from like a coaching perspective.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's, to add to it, it's mental. This game is like 99% mental. A lot of people forget it's 99% mental.
I genuinely think it's like 80-20. Because
you
do need to have a base of athleticism and some good fundamentals, but more times often than not, if you are a smarter opponent, you can win a game of paintball.
100%.
Agreed. And I think another area that doesn't get enough credit for, the reffing at an event as well, and it can be local event and woods, is understanding the game. Going back what you were saying, Ryan, is like to understand the game. Starting out being a field ref, like I reffed at Fox Forest till 2015, and like so I understood the woods ball side of things. I understood the tournament side of things. So like when you are able to see the sport from like a reffing point, you also you're able to carry that over playing wise and off the field wise. So I know you guys ref the CEPL,
yes sir,
the Capital Edge.
We'll get into some of that later for sure.
And that, like, doing that already speaks like volumes of the types of players that you guys are going to evolve into. Is like you understand how the refs are going to be positioning themselves in certain situations, but it goes back to the holistic way of the sport. Is like it's majority mental, but it allows you, by doing a lot of different things, it allows you to piece together a better picture.
Definitely. Yeah. And one thing is, when it comes to my experience coming from a player and then then reffing a tournament, is, dude, I know exactly how as a player I want to be treated, right? So, you kind of do a thing where if while you're a player, what is the best way how you want to be treated by a ref? You want it to be short and sweet. Get out, play like on your pack. You know what I'm saying? Right? Instead of like people standing there and arguing and giving a chance for a penalty, you just kind of explain it to them for a second, Like, hey, on top of your loader. And they're like, oh, shit, okay, I understand. It's all in the way that you can adapt from being a player into a ref and vice versa.
Well, we were talking about 4-8 people earlier in Brandon, and we're talking about refs now. So speaking of 4-8 refs, shout out to Ben Challenger. He was out reffing USXBL this past weekend. Quick sidebar, ran into him. It was funny when I was walking down one of the alleys next to their fields, and he saw me and was like, "Yo, Mafia, what's up, man?" And at first I didn't recognize him because he had all of his gear on, and so I was just couldn't tell who it was. But then I was like, who is this 4'7" man reffing a paintball tournament? And so in my head, I was like, okay, that's probably Ben. And then I walked over to their scoreboard side, and then he walked off after the point was over, and of course takes his mask off, and I guessed correctly it was Ben. And I was like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? And we talked for a bit. But I mean, dude, shout out to that man. Obviously doesn't need to be reffing a divisional tournament like that, but it's cool when you see pros out there kind of putting some time in. I mean, obviously they don't want to be, but it is still cool when they're having that impact.
It all broadens your
and yes, I call him a pro. I know he's playing semi-pro, but he was once a pro player, so he earns that title.
He touched the pro field, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. That counts. Yeah,
absolutely. And sometimes just like I assume he's probably in a program just like how me and Brando were in when it comes to reffing, right?
Maybe
that definitely broadens your paintball prowess, And it's because the thing is, when you're a ref, you have hindsight. You can see.
Hatch, what does prowess mean?
Prowess, I would probably say, I don't know, dude. I learned that from Naruto, dude. When it comes to,
I knew it, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
In my head, I was like, this is a word this man heard from either Elden Ring or fucking anime right now.
For sure, bro.
Because that really doesn't fit in that context there. But you tried, and I appreciate it.
Hey,
you sold me.
Hey, there we go, dude. You see, I would have sold everybody, but this guy's fucking exposing me. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Fresno. Shout out Fresno.
Thank you, Brando, for that. Snaps. I appreciate that. The next time I'll start with a haiku. How about that? But
you're not wrong. It does help. I mean, it's just like me sitting on the sidelines. It's essentially watching game film in a way. And yeah, when you're reffing, you're a little more tunnel focused on your zone or just a player or something like that. But you can still pick up little things from it.
Absolutely, and especially when you're watching pros, right? When you're filming pros, it's like, okay, there's 3 bodies over here, and this guy just died. He definitely needs to fill over here, and then he's gonna do it, right? Because he's a pro. He knows what he's supposed to do, right? And that's also what's kind of different when you're on the sidelines watching lower divisionals, where it's like, all right, this guy died, he should fill over. Now he's going fucking sicko mode. He's doing the exact opposite.
4 guns looking at the snake side.
Exactly, right.
There's 4 guns looking at the snake side. There's a player running down the Dorito side. No one sees him. Okay, that player just got 4 kills. It's the little things like that where, you start to notice.
And it happens so quickly, too. So that's the other perk of it, too, is when you're watching good paintball is like...
Well, but okay, you said quickly, because I was like, yeah, in the pros it does, but then you watch the divisionals, and, it's still quick. It's a 10 seconds they make that reaction, but compared to the pros, it's like, no, it is bang, bang, you gotta get there and make that play.
No hesitation, right? It's like as soon as someone gets that kill, right, and they're like, okay, no one on this side. If not, at least one person is looking that way to communicate it, bro. Point is over at that point, And it's just one of those things where timing of the game, right? When I'm not hearing Brando, I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get bunkered, bro. Let me go bunker this guy.
One more quick shout out from USXBL, and then we'll get back to Joe. Was our boy Cal Owen. I ended up seeing him just for a second towards the end of Sunday. I actually didn't see him at first. He came up behind me, hit me with a little dap on the shoulder, and all he said was RSK. I knew instantly who it was.
Nice.
And of course, it was our boy. So shout out to the man, RSK, my friend. And yeah, so it was good seeing him out there. We will talk about more about CPL and USXPL later, but let's get back to Joe. Obviously, we've been talking about media and paintball a bit, and we will be talking about paintball more. I do want to break this up. We're about 30 minutes in. Let's talk about something completely different now, man.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you like flying insects with stingers on them?
Why do I like well, the government can do it, so why can't I?
Fucking, that's fair, man.
Valid.
I like that answer. If you don't understand my reference, Joe just released, it was a couple weeks ago, right? You released a whole YouTube video kind of announcing and showing that you, is it an arborist is the term for the hobby, or?
I'm a beekeeper. So.
Beekeeper, okay, yeah. We'll call it that.
There's a term for it, though, Ryan. You were on the right.
Okay, there is some.
But I'm a beekeeper. Keep it simple. Let's keep it simple for our viewers.
All right, fair enough.
He knows.
So,
I mean, first things first. How does that even start? Where does the interest for that begin?
Oh boy. So that so in the video, and like I'll give you a quick summary. So like my uncle, he's been a beekeeper for like 40 years.
Family tradition. Banks.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it's weird because so like this so when my dad was in the hospital recently, his doctor had come up to him and was like, "Oh, you know, like your last name is like beekeeper in Polish or I forget what language she said." I'm like, no way. Like I would have known that by now.
I was gonna make the joke too, like, yeah, I'm a bee man. My father before me was a bee man, and my granddaddy before me was a bee man, and my sons will be bee man, and like, but okay, sick. So it's pretty much like a family lineage type thing. It seems a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know with my uncle if it how it goes up even further from that, but so he was a beekeeper. So he has Alzheimer's now. So over at his house where I keep some of my hives, my aunt was like, I still want bees. I want to take care of them over there. She has a beautiful garden. So she's like, I still want bees. And I'm like, sure, I'll take care of bees over there. But during COVID, my youngest brother, he was like, oh, I want to get into beekeeping. So he was going off to college and bought a hive. And was like, I'm gonna take care of these bees, and then he disappears, and I'm stuck taking care of him, like stuck in a good way. So it was one of the best things that had happened to me. So
I thought it was gonna be a real fantasy story where he's like, yeah, when us Polachicks, you know, or however you pronounce your last name, because it's a lot of vowels and consonants.
So you can butcher as much as you want. Most people are like Pachenka, Pasenko. So actually, in health ed class in high school, one dude, we were talking about pregnancy, and what one of my classmates thought my last name was Placenta. So the teacher was
Jesus.
Yes. So one of my classmates was like, Joe, isn't that your last name, Joe Placenta? And I'm like,
nah, bro. Nah, you're just fucking around.
No,
but I was just gonna make a throwaway joke that like it's in your guys' family lineage. You turn 21 and the bee is just like it's in the blood. It comes out and you need to start keeping the bees.
Honey in the bins.
But no, it sounds like he just kind of fucked off.
No, so he kind of fucked off. But
Okay,
he still. So as soon as he came back from school, he did step it back up. But during that time frame where it's like
re-entered the bloodstream.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that it's a disease. I'm sorry.
But I've been doing it for 5 years now, and it's sweet. So I have two brothers, and my youngest one got me involved, and then I started to take care of it, and then my other brother in between us, he ended up getting involved last year. So total wise, we have about 20 hives that we take care of.
Wow.
Is that
what does a
enough
hive consist
bees?
of?
Real quick, is that enough bees to recreate the Nicolas Cage bee scene with Hatch? Is that enough? Would that do it?
I don't know that scene, so I can't.
Okay.
Post show. Post show.
The bees, Joe.
We're watching this on the
bees. Yeah, we can watch that on the post show. That'll be post show content.
I'm sorry, I don't know that. So
don't know the bees.
I mean,
that's
I'm
a
down
legendary
to
clip.
recreate something.
Well, it would kill Hatch, so let's not do that. But
Down.
Hatch, what was your question, man? You were asking about the hives.
Okay, yeah. So with a hive, how many bees does it consist of for one hive? And you said you have how many? 20?
So we have about 20. Yeah.
Okay.
So a hive can have anywhere. So like during the peak of the year, it can be anywhere from 30,000 to like 60,000 bees in some of those boxes. So like on our property here is like we'll have over 500,000 bees like in our backyard. Yeah,
Damn right. We need all of them.
Damn.
We need all of them.
That sounds like a badass backyard.
Because I don't know if y'all know, but the European honeybee came over in not too distant past, and they've been fucking things up for the American honeybee. And, you know, I'm a good old-fashioned American, and I like my honeybees to be American. So, Joe, are you raising all-natural American-bred honeybees?
Oh, we got the Italian ones. We got the Italian
fucking
bees.
us up.
There we go, baby. There we go, baby.
You got them fucking Guido fucking bees
honey,
over there.
The GTLs, they love their gym, they love their trend, and they love their
buzz taxes in here. Buzz taxes in here.
This man's got New Jersey bees, and he's from Massachusetts. I can't believe it. He chose the laziest, most asshole piece of shit bees you could have chose. Everyone knows lazy New Jerseyans. All they do is lay out on the beach and care about their GTL. So yeah, no, I can't do any more this week. I'm all out of New Jersey fun facts.
Well, the lazy ones are the drones. Those are the male bees. So
amen, brother.
Am I saying it?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay, so in my one of my recent videos, I talk about the drones, but the drones, all they do, the males, they just wait inside the hive, and then what they do is they wait for the queen to go out to mate. Their sole purpose is to eat, sleep, mate, then die. That's it. So as soon as the drones mate with the queen in the air, like they fall anywhere from like 30 feet to 300 feet from the air.
What?
Fucking drone bee?
Yeah.
Guy of the week, Brando.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man.
So wait, they fall out of the sky 300 feet in the air?
Yeah, so the drones will mate with the queen in the air. So what happens is their abdomen attaches onto the queen's, and it gets ripped out after the reproductive organs do their thing.
Yeah, bugs be doing that shit,
Dude,
dog.
women
The bugs be doing bug things.
Women be doing that to me, bro.
Fucking, am I right,
You
man?
know what I'm saying, bro?
Hey, Brando, can we get one going? It's been a while.
No.
Fuck, you asshole. Fucking loser.
But okay,
yeah.
what were you saying, Joe?
That
You
is
said
pretty fucking. That's a nature is metal type moment. So they go up super high, I'm guessing, to avoid like predators or things around them, and then the queen rips out their fucking internals as she's mating with them, and then goes back to the hive, I'm guessing, and then lays down a bunch of fucking eggs.
Yeah, she'll lay anywhere
metal.
from like when she's doing like very well.
Don't get any
She'll lay
fucking thoughts, women.
Don't get any thoughts, ladies.
I would hate it if a all emo woman came into my life and just ripped my intestines out. No, I would hate that. Actually, I'm not gonna play anymore.
savage emo queen experience.
I mean, maybe if it was
emos.
Rhea Ripley, the fucking WWE chick, I'm down.
Oh,
So hot, bro. So hot.
like right on those shoulders. Yeah.
Yep. Call her mommy.
Hell yeah,
She's
she's
massive.
serious
She's at
uppies.
least 6 feet taller than you.
That's fine with me.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
nah.
Brando's
That's
climbing that
you
tree,
look
man.
up and you're like, hello there.
I'll even take some uppies, bro. You know what I'm saying? But okay, Joe.
should
One
text
thing you were
Michelle to
saying,
watch this
you were
portion.
saying you brought up Alex Frazier for a second. Continue that.
Yeah, so Frazier, he's also. I know he had a couple hives as well. He was last week's guest.
Yes, sir.
But
correct.
I know he has a couple hives as well. He doesn't. He talked about it a couple years ago, but it's a discreet thing as well. So.
Guy does everything.
But Frazier has some bees. Why
are you talking about it? It's discreet. He didn't talk about it.
No, he brought it up on one of the
okay.
Hormesis like live streams or something.
Oh, okay. So he
It's
has
on the
it in
internet,
public.
so-
Okay.
It's on the internet. If it's
Yep.
on the internet, it's fair game.
Facts.
Yeah, allegedly, Alex Frazier, keeps bees. We
Hell
don't
yeah.
have evidence for it, but allegedly, that is what happens.
Allegedly. But yeah, it's and then also
Shout out
there's
to Speak and Span Show, the #1 podcast in paintball now. Sorry about that, Joe. Just, we stole
No
their
worries.
joke there with allegedly. Just wanted to remind people we are now the #2 paintball podcast. Love that. Sometimes you just got to survive and live to see another day.
Absolutely. And it feels good. Feels good to be here. Cannot complain.
You guys are killing it though. You guys like I enjoy your show for the reason it's like it's just guys being dudes. Like
Yeah,
you guys
my brain is mush, dude. I haven't had a free moment to myself since like last Saturday, so I'm fucking losing it. And I don't mean this last weekend, I mean the weekend before. So this podcast is gonna be a fucking train wreck. I'm just being honest. But Brandon, do you have something to say? You like did your lean in like you were going to talk for
And
one
the
time on the
flick of the
podcast?
Oh, I didn't know if I was that clear. No, I just yeah, I've heard several times that just us dudes being dudes, just us letting it fly, and just we're real. I feel
you guys are.
we don't hold back.
We are real.
Nah.
Good.
We're some would say we're Brandon Buckingham versus Danny Mullen. We're more just upfront. We're being who we are, not putting on a show for people.
Valid. Valid. I actually know who
They're
Danny
Being
Mullen is.
authentic. I
Yeah,
like that.
100%.
Authenticity is where it's at.
And it's not like we're basically this. We're completely the same on the post show. We have our own little inside jokes over there. So that's why you
We
subscribe.
just get to watch videos and like do
And say a
cool
lot more
things
slurs.
that YouTube. Well, okay, Brandon, you didn't need to tell them about that. All right.
I mean, no, Hatch says them. We
Oh,
Yeah, 100%.
hey, I do my duty wherever it's needed. I do my
Hatch
duty
drops
wherever
a
it's needed.
lot more. What's like a funny thing for an Irish person? Because we can make fun of Irish people, right?
yeah, no one cares about them.
Yeah, those potato eaters. Hell yeah. Let's
Boom.
go.
There we go.
We say that more in the post show.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, Joe, I got a question.
Bring us back.
Okay.
How many bees genuinely would it take to lift up a human?
Oh, dude, that's a great question. Like, if I was to attach a string to every single one,
Are they like ants where they're very strong compared to their size, or that not
yeah,
so much?
they're pretty strong. They oh my god, there's certain times when they will. So there's certain phases that the bees will go through in their lifespan.
Hatch,
So
don't
like,
ask a question of a man and then laugh at him.
It's just funny. Sorry.
well, what they'll do is like the bees, like, if they don't like a certain bee, they will like go and grab another one and like fight with it and like pull it out of the hive, like, and they're both fighting against one another. And it's just like the colony's like, yeah, we don't like this one, like, let's pull this
getting rid
bad
of 'em?
boy out. Yeah,
That's fucked.
they're like the there's a term for it. It's like the gray.
It's like
what's
it's like Finland with certain types of babies.
Yes, you just pull them out and then
Yeah.
They
If you don't
take
get
'em
that
off.
joke,
Dude,
go look into what Finland does.
Okay. I didn't know. I'm
Down
gonna look that
syndrome
up.
is less
you
than
can
1%
you can
in that
hear more
country.
about that in the post show.
Google it, man. Thank you, dude. This sounds like you have like National Geographic in your backyard, bro. Where you are just seeing these Clash of the Titan events just happen. You are just
losing
seeing these events that are catastrophic for bees. But you're just like sipping your tea with a little honey in it, just watching it unfold.
Dude, it is crazy. So last year we speaking of National Geographic, nothing National Geographic. So I come home from a track workout and I'm pulling up my driveway and I'm like, oh shit, like I think I saw something off into the distance. And so I'm just like, all right, it's nothing, it's just a dog. It's just a dog. Just go park your car, Joe, like everything's fine. So I'm like, no. Back up, sit, wait for a little moment. Then I see this giant, like, black thing moving off in the distance, and it's like moving across, like, behind a tree. This oak tree is probably like 4 feet wide. So I see this black thing moving, and then I'm like, oh, there's two legs. Okay, cool. Then I see 2 more legs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a massive dog. Then this shadow thing keeps moving, and then there's 2 more legs attached on, and it's like, am I seeing like mythical creatures or something? So it turned out to be 2 cubs of black bears.
What?
So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's bears in my backyard. And like
That's
in
not
the
good.
center of not good whatsoever.
If you
So
see a
I'm
cub,
just sitting there.
Mama
What's
is
that?
around.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mama was around and dude.
She's down to clown.
Dude, why? It's like so crazy because like you see the cubs and you're like, okay, that's probably like a mother bear there and the father bear. But no, when mother bear came out, it was just like you see like Brian Verbal at events, like he's tall, like mother bear is taller than him, and it's just like I was just went after the 2 cubs and the mother came out. I'm like, oh fuck. So I call my mom and like I'm like, Mom, like whatever you do not come out the back door. What does my mom do? Come out the back door.
Oh
She's like,
my
"Listen,
god.
man."
My mom
Like,
would do the same shit. My mom would do the same thing.
dude, and so like I'm like, get the fuck in the car, like get away, because these things, like, people, like, don't realize, like, how fast these bears are. And so we watch the bears, like, and the mother bear, she's obviously fending for her cubs and such, walks over to the hive and like looks at me dead center, and it's like, oh, this is your hive, with like a pointer finger, just, oh, I'm gonna take your honey, just devoured it. It was crazy,
devastating.
So it was National Geographic happening last year.
That's pretty sick. So I guess, two things. A, if you're ever in the woods, you see a cub, run the other fucking way, because that's the one time
screwed.
bears do not give a fuck. If they think
They
you
will
are hurting
kill
their
you, bro.
cubs, that is game the fuck on.
Dude.
The other piece of advice, that's why they say don't run away from a brown bear. It will catch you. Don't climb up a tree from a brown bear. It will catch you. Your only advice is just lying there and hoping it doesn't give a fuck about you anymore. Because if you run away, now it thinks you're prey, and it's like, oh, game on. Ooh, I'm gonna go get this fucker. And it's horrible advice, but that's really your best kind of, maybe you're getting out of it if it just thinks you're kind of a fucking weird object it stumbled across. But yeah, bears are fascinating. That is really cool that it came
sick,
up. It was
dude.
like,
Do you have a video?
it is honey. Like, that is, yeah.
I have some drone footage because I was flying above it.
Smart.
At first I flew the drone at it, and then the cubs were like, what the hell is this? And they like started to beeline it away. And no joke, like they can climb a tree like 30 feet off in like less than a second.
Yeah.
Less than a second.
Wow.
Like, you look at a telephone pole at a paintball field, like, you want to know how fast a cub can climb a tree. You look at the base, and then you shoot a paintball at it. It's already up at the top of the tree.
Jeez.
So if you see a black bear, you're screwed. Sorry.
I guess other thing too, from the bee standpoint, I'm guessing their hide and just the fat they have on them is just so thick that the bees can't really, like, it doesn't affect, like, you can go shoot 1,000 times, but it's not really affecting them.
Dude, the mother when she was getting stung was just like staring. Was like,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what is this little,
stingers
like,
are what, like a couple millimeters long, right? Like, they're not very long.
It's not long at all, so like,
as opposed to like some Amazonian bugs that are like, they've got the fucking tail that comes out. And it's like,
have you seen the beetle ones? Have you seen the beetle ones where they put the bullet ants, the hands inside the glove?
I have seen that, bro.
Dude. Cody, Wyoming, or what's that guy's name? The dude who got stung by the, like, you guys don't know about this?
Yeah.
Cody Peterson, right?
The culture, dude, where they put to prove you're a man, you put your hands in these oven mitts that have bullet ants in them, bro. And there are these kids that are like standing there for like, I don't know how long, but they're just like,
they sing a song.
And they sing a song, and they have these oven mitts filled with bullet ants just getting annihilated.
Do you know, like, what culture is this? Like, is this
it's some kind of like Amazonian tribe. Mm-hmm. It's not like a developed thing at all.
It kind of makes sense that they can deal with it better because they've been doing that with all of their people for probably hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So it's like there's evolution's probably been like, all right, if you aren't good at bullet ants, you just don't get to reproduce and survive.
Valid.
But like Cody Peterson got stung by one, and that dude wanted to like die.
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh, I'm like hallucinating. Oh God, what's going on? I'm perspirating. Like, yeah,
and, dude, that's crazy. That actually used to be like
the
craziest sting in the world. It used to be, and then it got, I think, overlapped by
the tarantula hawk.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was taught by the tarantula hawk, and that stinger. Ain't no way, bro. You would have to pay me an incredible amount of money.
Tentacle, like, yes, I want to fucking kill someone.
It's like, find something that is unfortunate enough that this goes in, bro. You're done.
You're getting fucked.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, they stun their victims and take them back home and plant their eggs in them, bro. What?
Yeah,
that is some National Geographic shit.
Metal as fuck, dude. Nature's metal, bro.
Do your bees ever like fend off other insects? Do you ever see that?
Yeah, so sometimes what happens is
they have the warriors. Do they go out?
Yes,
warriors. So they will. So there's the yellow jackets are just assholes with wings. Just to put it there.
That's right. I've always said
no point of yellow jackets.
They deserve to die. I stand on that business. We fuck with bees. We love bees.
So from what I understand with yellow jackets though is like they do some like pesticide.
No,
like
no, don't give
but
a
that's
fuck.
like I've never seen them on like a flower or something being like, oh, here's a caterpillar that doesn't need to be here. Like
I will
no,
say
you
this.
don't get your right yellow jacket.
Things in nature by this point are there for a reason, and if you take any of them out, it will cause severe issues. But fuck yellow jackets, fuck hornets, like fuck things that aren't bees.
Fuck mosquitoes.
But you probably do need them, because I guarantee you,
mosquitoes,
if
too.
like you just snapped your fingers and they were all gone, there would be like severe ecological issues pretty quickly.
I think the survival rate in certain third world countries would go up if we got rid of all of the mosquitoes. You know?
Yeah, probably. But I wonder, there's probably some animals that like feed off those that
Don't care.
then with like birds and stuff that would start dying off as
That's
well.
fine.
Like it's the Chinese emperor who's like, well, I don't like sparrows. Let's kill sparrows. All right, now we have a fuck ton of locusts that just ate all our plants because we killed all the sparrows. It's not a good idea, guys. That literally happened. That's a thing in history. He put a bounty on
Dude.
sparrows.
And same with dragonflies eat a ton of mosquitoes, I think.
Yeah.
I think they eat like 10,000 mosquitoes a day.
That's why the bug, the mosquito eater, like
Yeah.
bug. I forget the like actual name for it, but it's been like termed the mosquito eater. I hate it. Every time I
Oh, the
see
crane
it,
fly?
I'm like, God, I fucking hate you. But I never touch them because I know that they are doing good, and I'm like, you get to
You
live.
do good, you
to
get to stay.
coexist. I don't. You freak me the fuck out.
Whenever
but
I see him
you're
around
good
my
here.
door, I'm like, damn, that's my guy protecting me, dude. He is stopping.
Yeah.
He is the first line of defense from my home, from them getting
No,
inside.
It's almost like a prison relationship where I'm like, look, man, I don't like you, but you make sure no one fucks with me, so you can stay here, and I'll make sure no one fucks with you, bro.
Oh, yeah. I won't kill you if you protect me, kind of thing,
Yeah,
so,
valid.
So it feels good. But, Joe.
Crane fly, that's what they're called?
I'm pretty sure they're called crane flies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, okay. Speaking of crane flies, when I was at Cedar's house, dude.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're
When
talking
I-
about insects.
I'm like outside, I'm like, Cedar's house is kind of cool where I can like get a flashlight and look, and sometimes I'll see salamanders, some cool stuff. Dude, I see all of these crane flies sticking their little dicks in the dirt, and that's how they like plant their eggs,
Oh.
right? And I'm just seeing all of them, and Cedar's gonna listen to this eventually. But
They
I'm,
just,
bro,
what's up?
I started tap dancing, bro. I started tap dancing on these motherfuckers. I just did not want to see them anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. If they're breeding, that's fair, because there's about 50,000 other ones already there already. So
Exactly.
You
I'm
can
like-
take some out.
I don't think I'm upsetting any kind of ratio ever. So
You're late to
Yeah.
the party.
yeah,
Tough
yeah,
call.
100%.
I'm way late. Someone else was tap dancing an hour ago before me. But anyway, Joe. Okay, when it comes to photography, what's up, Brian? I see your hand like you're about to call a judgment.
You're good. I like that you're getting back to Joe. I do want to hear Brandon say something, because it's been a good 30 minutes. Do you have a question for Joe,
I will.
Brando?
Dude, hold, let me finish what I was going to say. Joe,
Okay.
get ready for Brando to ask you a question.
Okay, here's the thing, Brandon. I feel like whenever we have a guest, you feel like you can take the night off and just chill and coast and not have to talk or make any
need you, bro.
anything. I need you involved. I need you in the action. I need you in the fight, because if we're gonna finish the fight, it's gonna be together. All right, Brando?
Halo 3 style, bro. Finish the fight.
So do you have a goddamn question for our motherfucking awesome guest we have tonight?
I do. I absolutely
Hell
do.
yeah. Let's hear it, buddy.
So, how
I just
often
want to
are
give you
you?
shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How often are you going out? Like, are you personally, or you and if your brothers are handling the bees? How often are you guys going out like per day to? I honestly I don't know exactly.
To inspect the hives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
they're-
So like
Self-tending,
Yeah, it's
right?
maintenance.
Like it's yeah.
So what ends up happening is like we go out maybe once or twice a week to check on the hives, and for the most part it's just to see how the hive is doing. Like it's interesting because bees operate a lot like penguins in a way. So like
Interesting.
when penguins, and this is the same for the winter and such, is like during the winter, penguins, what they do is they work their way to the center and then they work their way out, and then they cluster together and move around to their food sources or different areas to stay warm. The bees act very similar in that sense.
Interesting.
So what ends up happening is like when we go in to check on the hives, is we're looking at where the hive is generally moving around and seeing like, oh, okay, so this frame. So inside the hive, there's called frames, and there's different heights of them. Those are the things that people pull up and down.
Like a file.
So, yeah, it looks like a file, exactly. So we look at those frames and be like, oh, okay, so this frame has a certain cluster pattern on it. Like, we'll see if there's eggs in there. We'll see if there's pollen, honey. So we look at that, and then we decide, like, oh, we need to add honey supers onto it so that they can bring in honey, and we can then harvest it later on.
Interesting.
So we'll go in once a week to check. Sometimes, so like this, the last time I went in was 2 weeks ago, weather wise, and plus we were watching the bees. So like the queen recently, she had gone out and laid eggs, and it takes them about 20 days to hatch. So if I'm just waiting for them to hatch, there's really no reason for me to like go in and check.
Okay.
At this point though, is like where the weather's getting warmer, the trees are blossoming and such. I will be going in a little bit more frequently to see like the honey flow. So they're going out collecting their pollen. So then it's up to us to be like, okay, we need to add on more boxes to let the bees harvest, collect the pollen, and then make honey. So that's once a week or so, sometimes twice.
Jeez.
But very rarely.
Is that why they go into those huge masses? Like, you see that a lot, where
cluster of
bees, they'll
bees.
just be, a whole swarm of them kind of right on top of each other.
So if you see that out in nature, what ends up happening is the colony had decided that their previous home and the new queen that's in there, they're just like, yeah, we don't like it here anymore. We want to go. And so they just take half.
Okay.
So like,
But so the question is, that almost like like they're making a temporary home for their queen, because like she's in the middle of that whole pile, and it's just like bodies in front of the way. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause if she
Yeah.
has, they're all fucked.
That's protection right there.
dude, it is crazy protection. It's protect the queen at all cost.
Yeah, like I just said, if
amen.
she dies, that whole colony is dead. No one will ever take them in. Those bees are just done forever.
Find a queen to protect,
Yeah.
boys. Find a queen to protect.
Find your queen.
Good metaphor.
Find your queen to protect, boys. You know? Okay. Joe, I have to round it back real quick. Dude,
Sure.
how many bees would it take to lift up a human?
Okay, let's. Dude, that's a great question. At least I would say at least 1 million bees.
Okay.
At least
bees.
What's
I
the
don't know how
process
to, like,
here? Do we know the rough carry load of a bee? Is it like
So
a horsepower too? What do we?
Oh, horsepower.
horsepower. We're converting horsepower to bee power. Dude, that's
Yeah.
above my pay grade.
That is
Okay.
I just deal
insane.
with the bees.
Can we just get like a kilogram payload then? We 5-10
Brandon,
kilograms.
how
see,
many do bees carry of pollen? Like
I'm looking for it right now.
this is just a question where I've just been so curious on like, because what is stopping a swarm of bees from just being like, fuck it, I'm gonna take this guy.
It's like that family. Have you seen the Family Guy episode where they lift the net up and then like the swarm of mosquitoes come and pick up the kids?
Yes, I have seen that.
So that's what comes to mind when you said that. So
I think the biggest thing, Hatch, is just grip, because like how are those bees ever going to attach themselves to an object and have the grip
First of
strength
all,
to be able
you're
to pick
thinking
it up?
way too small picture. I'm telling you, they're gonna turn into
I'm
it.
thinking big picture.
Oh, no, I'm gonna tell you how I'm
up.
thinking big picture.
I need payload first. What's
I
the
got numbers.
payload of a bee?
Let's hear it.
How many sidewinders are they taking with them? What? A little J
Let me
down?
Google that one. No, I'm seeing a honeybee can approximately lift about 0.1 grams, right?
All right.
0.1 grams. Then I have conversion rates of like a pound to grams, right? A pound.
That'd be great.
1 pound is 454 grams. We'll round it up.
Hey, Brando.
yeah.
How many grams is an ounce? It's like 30 something, right?
You know, it's incalculable.
It's incalculable.
But
for
here,
pound,
how
how many grams per pound?
454.
Okay,
Right.
so and you said 0.01 or
he's got the
0.1?
math. He's
0.1 grams, about 0.1 grams a honeybee can lift. Now, this is from this math. It's a 180-pound man. It is approximately 816,460 bees that can lift a 180-pound man.
Holy
I'm
shit.
getting simpler numbers. I concur.
And let me tell you, boys,
Yeah.
we got to think real big picture here. It wouldn't be like, Ryan, like, oh, they're looking for a grip. No, dude, they form as a team. They form one giant fist and pick you up, dude.
Hatch, no.
Oh
The
my
bees
God.
aren't gonna
saying?
fucking turn into
Yes.
Voltron and work together, Hatch. No, maybe in your reality, in Hatchland, but in the real world,
I'm just
they
saying,
can't do that.
we have
And
I like
that is to
Hatchland.
answer your
I like
question.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's
Exactly.
why they've never picked up a person in the past, because
Dude,
it's not physically
let me tell you,
possible.
first of all, the bees aren't conscious enough yet. They just have not gotten to that stage where, like humans, where they're at that level of consciousness. But they
So
will be.
what I'm hearing, we need to feed bees psilocybin mushrooms and see what happens.
Oh,
Joe,
I'm totally down for that.
dude.
I'm totally down for that.
Dude. Oh
Dude,
my
psil-
god.
Yeah. Psilocybin mushrooms,
wait.
dude.
Honest question though, because is there pollen on mushrooms? Because isn't that the whole thing? That's how like the flavor of honey usually, there's a little bit that comes from where that pollen comes from. I know there's
Yeah,
something to do with that.
There probably is some pollen on mushrooms. I don't know.
That would
That's
be
a
very
great question.
interesting if
but-
you could like put some by the hive and see if they like
Get
pollinate
magic
it
honey.
or yeah.
So
Magic.
actually,
just made a product patch.
my brother, he was growing some herbs.
Yes.
So
Very
he
legal
was
in
growing
your
some
state,
herbs in my
100%, yeah.
backyard.
Basil.
And the honeybees were going to those herbs, and they really loved the herbs. So and they were bringing it back to their
It was
house.
probably some very good basil at the end of the day.
It was amazing
Because
basil.
it was very, it was properly fertilized and pollinated and
They're
yeah.
Italian. Remember, they love the basil.
That's
yes.
true. Oregano and basil. That's right up their alley.
Dude, that is amazing.
Oh.
Dude, Ryan, I think you're right. We just can't stumble on a great product.
There you
But
go.
they-
Hatch.
There's places, I forget where it is. It's somewhere in Asia that they have like some hallucinogen
Mad honey.
out there.
Mad honey.
Yeah, mad honey.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Y'all fuckers see how fast he knew that shit? I just
did.
want to point that out.
Listen.
That's the fastest Hatch has ever answered a question in the history of From the
Mad
Sidelines.
honey, dude. I've seen it.
What the fuck? Okay.
I'm genuinely
How'd you
curious
get
on how
calmed
much it
down,
would.
bro?
I'm genuinely curious on how much it would cost.
We got a little fucking astronaut going on in the fucking FTS now.
Bro, if give me some mad honey, I will be an astronaut. I mean, I'll be the same as Katy Perry kind of astronaut, but you know what I'm saying? Still be one. But you know,
Good you are.
well, Maine isn't too far from me, so I could see about some of my Maine buddies and be like, yo, I gotta put like 10 hives up here. Just
That
to,
is true. They got like nothing going on up there, so no one really cares what you do in Maine.
They can grow marijuana up there, so
They can grow a lot of basil. Yeah.
Plenty of
Yeah.
basil.
well, so when you're speaking, okay, here's a weird question. So since it's on the internet, like, can you say like, oh, since it's in this area, so since Maine, we're talking about Maine, they can
You
grow
can
marijuana.
technically
But
say whatever you
but
want.
in
as we've
Massachusetts, I'm
seen
growing basil.
recently.
Valid. So valid, Ryan. So
Really?
valid.
Joe, as long as you're not ordering anything in the mail, you're good, man. You're
And-
totally fine.
And on top of that, you could probably order it in the mail if you really want.
well,
you gotta be
I
really
would
big.
advise against that. I like you, Joe, and so I'm not going to give you that advice.
Does
Hatch,
Mad
make
Honey
sure you
come
order
to the
some
mail?
stuff in the mail.
Does Mad Honey come to the mail? I don't want to find out the hard way though.
Hatch,
Brando,
I think
Google
you
it.
should try. Hatch, you should test it out.
Google it,
I
Brando.
think you should definitely.
How much?
Yeah, Brandon can Google
how
it, but
mu-
you
how
I'll
much-
should
get a
try it.
VPN going and for the after
Yes.
stream. You can stick around for the after stream.
You guys do
and-
realize the Silk Road has been closed for like 12 years at this point, man. This ain't happening.
I'm going to Asia myself to get it.
Have you
I've
ever been
actually
on the
seen the
Silk
way
Road?
they harvest it. It's actually terrifying. They have to hang off cliffs.
Yeah, dude,
Join.
it's so scary.
Yeah. So
Join? What the fuck are you looking at, Brandon?
he's like he just subscribed to the Mad Honey Mondays to where every
I
Monday had
really
a
need
different
Michelle
flavor.
to walk in
Mad
right now.
Honey Mondays.
Add to
Matt-
cart. All right, let me pull up your address, Hatch.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
fool's buying
No, you can
Lock-in
send it
Road
to
right
me.
now.
Send it to me, Brando. I got
Yeah,
subjects.
baby. There we go.
Those
Okay.
both work.
Joe, one thing real quick.
We just had 30 minutes of bees. I love
Yes.
that.
One thing that's going away from bees, Joe.
Okay.
What is your favorite photo that you've ever captured?
Oh, dude. Oh, okay. So this is a great photo. So it's me and my brother were in. It was either I think it was Berlin. We were in Amsterdam and then Berlin, and we're riding around. Yeah, it was Berlin. We're riding around like one of the parks, and so we're on this like open field, and then we go into this like wooded area, and as we're going into the wooded area, there's like an opening, and there's just this like random butt naked dude just standing next to his bike, just standing like right next to the bike. Sun is like straight at him, just like holding himself, like standing next to his bike, like sunbathing. And apparently this was like something sunning. That they. Yeah, he was sunning. At the time, I'm like...
Well, also grounding himself. This is all very normal stuff.
I did not know that. Thank you guys for culturally appropriating me.
I didn't know this at the time, too. But, like, I'm like, oh, my God, that's such a good photo. So I took a picture of it, and I ended up... Like, I haven't posted on social media because I'm like, this is such a good... What's that?
The man's just T-posing there.
He's, like, standing chest proud, like... Yeah, I know I'm old. I'm fat. I got nothing else going on in my life.
He's content.
That man was at Woodstock.
He's happy. He's like, I'm being an authentic person. I don't give a shit about anything else. So, my brother. So we had like the Christmas swap. We had a Christmas swap or one of those like Yankee swaps, whatever it's called, and I printed this out as like a giant, like a big, like 27-inch, like monitor size picture, and my brother chose it, and he's gotten so many compliments over it because he has it right above his toilet seat at his apartment.
So that is perfect placement.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and the great thing is now is his friends are seeing it, and they're like, I'm going to do an abstract version of it. So now there's an abstract version of it. So there's just different iterations of this photo that are slowly coming about.
That's what we call art, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, we're gonna see a Picasso like a Picasso style that's so far up with them. Like, well, my original inspiration was the naked man.
No, Hatch. We're not gonna see a Picasso style. We're gonna see a Joe style.
Skies out, thighs out, baby.
Skies out, thighs
Sun's out, buns out. Sun's out, buns out.
Oh, is that the name of the painting?
Dude, it's right now. It's no name.
Painting. I just called it a painting as if it
was a photorealistic painting. He painted it really well.
Dude, let me tell you, Joe, the way you're describing it, you're painting a picture in my mind of what it looks like. Let me just say. So very, very good, very, very good storytelling. I like that. So that's your favorite photo you've ever taken?
Yeah, I mean,
that's his least favorite.
What's that? That's my least favorite.
No, I was fucking with Hatch. Yeah. So favorite photo.
No, I mean it's tough because like there's always like something else to like capture. I mean, one of the weirdest things that like people like Ryan, you've probably had people ask you is like, oh, could you come like photograph like a funeral? And it's like, what? Like
random requests.
Like
yeah, I've got
really
a couple.
like set like as a media person, you are photography or video and even audio too is like you
audio kicking in.
I accidentally I don't know why I was listening to.
And we're no longer monetized. Thank you, Joe.
Sorry guys. But just like I mean cheers and tears, like that's what you are mostly like that stands out for photos and video wise. It's like getting that emotion like we were talking about earlier.
Cheers and tears.
So
I like that.
Cheers and tears. One of my friends, Alan McRae, he is a photographer up in New Hampshire, and he told me that one time. He's like, Joe, you don't realize this, but you do like a really good job at like capturing the peaks and the valleys of times because like I mean everybody in the paintball scene is like, I just want to show how ag I am. Like, I look so cool playing paintball. I just want to show these peaks. And it's like, no, like the sport, like you have so many more valleys that build up to those peaks. Like if you can celebrate those peaks,
Mariana's
those
trenches
valleys
in the sport. What are we talking about?
All right, we'll use trenches and tips.
Trenches and tips.
It's identical. I just mean like from the sense
like
of
tips.
This sport. Unless you
We're
are fucking
tips.
Dynasty or Paintball Fit, more often than not, this sport is going to suck and be the worst thing in your life. Then that one Sunday, you're going to feel like a hero. But that's where you learn, and that's where you grow, and that's where you get to then be the hero on that one Sunday.
But it's also the little wins, you know, like winning match to match, you know, even though there are photos that can be captured through that, right? Sometimes, you know, where you're an underdog in that match, right? And does that make sense on what I'm trying to convey?
Yeah, well, and I'm just talking about from the sense of like, it's okay to not shy away from those moments because those are real and they happen to everyone in the sport. How many times have you gotten on Instagram Sunday after an event and you've seen an Instagram story that's, damn, we went 1-3 in this event, man. We learned a lot. I'm gonna come back stronger for the next one. I've seen that a million fucking times, but everyone relates with that. Like, it gets, you know, it gets annoying because it's the repetitive same words. But at the same time, I've never texted anyone who said that and been like, shut up. Because I'm like, yep, I feel that. I know that pain. It's not fun. Like, talk to you next week, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's essential for growth. It's super essential for growth.
Absolutely. I'm the kind of guy where, you know, I try to take the lore out of Alex Frazier, right, and be a little bit funnier about it. You know, I posted a thing on my after event, you know, instead of being like, oh, we fucking 2-2, fucking bullshit, right?
There was a point in time where you hated Alex Frazier, as well as all the Dynasty.
Absolutely. There was. And I told him, I was like, dude, there was a time where I was like, fuck Dynasty, right? And, dude, like, that was one of those things where I couldn't not do a podcast with the guy and let him know. Right, but on how much he has changed my perspective, and just like
had to tell OG what's up, you know.
Amen, brother. You know, so I'm not a fake guy, but anyway, I mean, my after event posting. What did I say? I said to succeed in life, you need 3 things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not anywhere near as serious, but it's about good vibes with the boys. You know, and you know, I like to look at more of the positivity things instead of I used to be the guy where my plane rides home would always be so negative on just weigh on my mind. But now I'm like, okay, time to get back to the grind. You know, it's not anywhere near as taxing on my mind as it used to be. So, and that's one thing that Alex Frazier's, without a doubt, changed my perspective on, is just being happier after an event. You know, and sure, I work at these events with all the stuff that I do, but it is a vacation at the end of the day.
Was that Hatch? Was that
not a vacation.
Perspective switch? Was that after last week's video when he came on? Was that when it switched? That's way before. Okay.
I would probably say. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead. No, because I know he had said something along that line last week. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's like if I'm gonna go to an event, it's like as soon as like a bad moment happens, it's just okay, whatever. We lost a match, cool, move on." But the perspective switch that you're talking about was a lot earlier.
Definitely. I would probably say the perspective switch for me was when I first...
Like,
maybe. You never know. But I would probably say, realistically, it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago when the whole thing where it was like, play like a kid. Whenever that was really like introduced to me and that whole thing, I was always like, when I heard that, I was like, whoa. You know, he's older than me. He's the guy that, you know, horseman of paintball, like I was saying.
It was probably when he gave you the father-like hand on the shoulder.
You know, and it was also another thing where it was like he was just a genuine nice guy when he talked to me. I never talked to him before that. You know, I wasn't cool enough to. But now that it's like, you know, I can talk to Alex Frazier, you know, buddy now. Dude, he's a great guy, and I guess it was just ignorance on my part, for sure.
He gave Hatch the hand on the shoulder, though. I'm not joking.
Hand.
That was a real moment where he was like... He was talking about your grandfather, right, or something? Because we had a joke, we had a bet about this. I was like, at some point, Alex is going to do this to you, and then he did.
Yo, and it was like, Ryan's like, you know what? I'll pay you $100 for you to get a photo of that. Like a real one. And I was like...
You got to get a photo of it.
And
That's the thing. Because I needed the proof.
Exactly. And I was like, okay. But it happened so abruptly in a serious moment that I was like, anybody got a camera?
That's when we need the Dan Shelley.
His hand's touching me.
Yeah, I was like, we needed a sniper there.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just really cool. And
Alex, put it back.
Yeah. And Alex has just always been a cool guy to me. Ever since I genuinely talked to him for the very first time, that was my perspective change.
And one of those things, you know, you watched the cut of Iron Kids. Alex sent it to us. We were able to watch it last week, which was really cool. But I mean, they talk about then that like a lot of the dudes who came from that Iron Kids team needed a father figure in their life for, you know, multitudes of reasons. And so I think that's something he may have related to you a little bit, and kind of, I don't know, had that moment with you, Hatch. And I think it's cool to see for you, it wasn't necessarily your hero becoming a peer moment. It was like your villain almost becoming a hero, where you're like, oh, Oh, whoa! This is a cool perspective twist.
Absolutely,
Like,
it was a complete. It wasn't even like he was a villain. It was I just understood him, and I felt like he understood me, and it was just a perspective that.
No, he was a villain. You hated him.
Everybody just wants to be understood. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly right, and I was like, this guy doesn't understand me.
We're all misunderstood. We're all being judged.
Right,
It's all miserable.
And you know, I.
Brando, you were gonna say something though.
Yes, thank you.
No, I was gonna go.
I'm out.
I was gonna go on board with Hatch with like the timeline of like the switch for him, right?
Because Brando knew. Like I knew Brando before that switch.
Yeah, like it was our.
I knew you too.
It was our first year of semi-pro, right? It like there was a. I don't want to necessarily say like a stark
Hatch grew up a
contrast
little bit during that year too.
He did.
What was it?
Hold on, you cut out for me. What'd you just say?
I don't want to say it's a stark contrast of like D3 and how you are now, right?
There's a stark contrast.
But yeah, there's almost like a maturity level.
I've also been forced to because of penalties. I've been forced. So
I'm not even talking about just on the field, brother.
You know, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, and yeah, spreading the love and more of the love and positivity.
I haven't gotten a text. I'm on MILF duty tonight in about 2 years, and I think that's a good thing for you, buddy.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane to think about, right? Because
can I talk about that a little bit, buddy?
Yeah.
It's been a while. My man Hatch used to be used and abused by MILFs. I'm
Dude.
not joking. That's not a fucking thing. He was a toy for older women to misabuse. I am so
It's character
glad
building.
my buddy
Absolutely,
is now out
it
of
is.
that situation.
It is character building, and I am blessed that I'm out of that situation.
You're a fucking angel. There
You
you
know-
go. I still have it on the board.
Perfect, dude. She changed my life. It's one of those situations where it's like I wake up and I'm like,
Hatch
damn,
found his queen.
how can I be a better person? Absolutely, dude. I said, buzz, baby, give me that honey. Suck it out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Give me that honey.
You know what I'm saying? Try to get that honey. But yeah, overall, dude, it's just my perception on life has just changed so much in the last 3 years. And that's not even just
Probably
like jumping.
the last 4 or 5 months, I would say.
For sure, absolutely. Like, I mean, dude, like, it's coming up on a year with Callie, dude. That was a serious fucking realization in my life where I was like, dude,
I was making a reference, buddy.
I gotta change my life. What was your reference from 5 to 6 months ago?
It's okay. If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's all good.
I'm trying to use my fucking brain power. I don't think my brain's strong enough, bro.
Dude, I don't know how you don't remember this. I know
Oh
Anthony does.
shit, dude. We talking when I coached for the first time with Oni. Is that what we're talking about?
No, I think that was a
That
good life
was
event
definitely
for you.
very eye-opening. That was very, very eye-opening for sure. Made me realize how
100%.
grateful I am, right? And find a queen, everybody. That's one thing that Joe taught me.
Find a queen.
And he finally put it into words where I could finally express it animal-wise. You know, I'm a bloodlusted bee.
I thought you were done, Hatch. 3 minutes ago, you were like, I'm done. I'm stopped talking. And
Sorry. Brando, get in here. Brando, do something.
No, I was really enjoying your synonyms and stuff for queen and shit. But
we were getting Hatch's big boy words.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Prowess. You know?
Yup.
We're learning.
Word of the week, prowess.
Prowess,
Word
dude.
of the week. It's a new one for Hatch.
Prowess is power, boys.
Well, yeah, boys. Let's move on to some other topics. I did have one from Brando, so we'll get him back in here. My segue for you, Brandon. Baseball video from Brandon. I told you that's what it would be, and that's what it is. So what the fuck is the baseball video from Brandon?
I'm excited.
Dude, this came across. I came across this weekend. So this, let me get his actual title or something. He works for the Cubs. Shit, sorry.
The Mets?
We work for an MLB team.
Okay.
Director of broadcasting.
There's too many to figure out which one. You know.
Yeah, one of them.
The DOB?
The the DOB of the Mets, the New York
Oh
Mets.
shit.
So, what he's been doing live on air is
I know where you're going. I already know where you're going.
do you? Fuck, dude, this is really cool.
No, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. He
'Cause I'm
he's
into
a
this
big,
shit.
He's a big cinema guy. Loves watching movies, I guess. And he takes famous shots of movies and he replicates it within baseball, like live during the game. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna.
This motherfucker gave us a 3-camera box with a Wild Western Showdown on it during an active Mets game on broadcast television.
Here.
This guy sounds like a
He gave
stud.
us pitcher in one box, batter in the other, and then a wide-angle shot of from the pitcher to the batter.
Was there a
one's
tumbleweed
doing that in
going across,
broadcast
too?
Sports, man. It looked like there should have been one. Brandon, I love that you brought this up. I have seen it because it's been put in communities I follow. Dude, he's doing awesome stuff right now. There was a shot I saw the other day. One of his cameramen focused through someone's glasses in the stands.
Linking it
with
right
the
now.
player who was in the on deck.
Amazing.
Oh my god, just these shots that no other director is telling you to get.
So
He's
next
not only
level.
telling his people to get, but he's just like, go guys, go be free, find some creative shit, and we're gonna make some cool stuff for fucking the Mets.
Absolutely.
Like,
I think
he's
it's
doing
the
this
next generation,
live.
dude. Yeah, I think it's that next
No,
generation where they're like, go crazy with
Trust
your
me,
art.
it's not easy, the things he is accomplishing. I can tell you that right now.
This stuff looks absolutely awesome, dude. Seriously. Holy shit.
Sure, to even put up like a 15-second reel takes so long nowadays, and this guy is like, oh yeah.
Well, you
let me
see Go Sports Joe? You've been over on that side. Like, that's a team of 6 to 7 guys, depending on the event. If you include cameraman, we're probably getting towards 10. And like, no offense to Go Sports, but that's not this level of broadcast. So now imagine the scale and how much that expands and the amount of people that have to be in line and ready to go live at a moment's notice for these type of things. It's ridiculous.
Damn. I'm looking at some of
Broadcast
these other
sports
videos. I'm looking at some of these other
it's
videos.
awesome.
These are awesome.
You guys are getting sucked in. We are
Sorry,
still doing an audio
sorry.
podcast, by the way. I just want to
bad.
remind you of that, Hatch.
Yeah, my bad. I
know
was
you're
sent
not
a
the
link.
best
Look
podcast
at all
host,
these links. Look at all these links that are being sent to me, bro. I'm
I
distracted.
also haven't opened any of them. So, because I have, the fucking respect for our audience. No, I'm actually joking. I just didn't open them because I knew it already.
I did
It
not
is
know.
beautiful. Brandon, do you know, is there like a account that you found some of these on?
Yeah, so it's his personal account. His name's John DeMarsico. DeMarsico.
Oh, no.
Yeah, John DeMarsico TV on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he's just got like some of his examples
Yep,
kind of
he
listed on there.
has
That's
the
awesome.
cuts. Yeah, so, some of the reels he has, the actual like edits he did live on the broadcast, and then it transitions into like what inspired it, what movie, what, and it's almost like shot by shot. It's really fucking cool.
No, dude, it's No, he's doing crazy things. I'm actually glad that you brought that up, and that's how I know you're a baseball fan, Brando, because that's the only way you would hear about that. Because you're not a cinema fan, so yeah, that's why we get along, Brandon. Hatch, what sports do you watch?
Paintball. And do you really want to know? You really want an update on some content that I watch? Do you really
You
want
been
to know?
watching sports?
No, it's way cooler than sports. Let me just tell you that.
The pony
Women's
riding.
beach
No,
volleyball.
I'll tell you, it's way cooler than sports, bro. Let me tell you. Outdoor Boys, bro, it is tragic, dude. He had to hang it up for now, bro.
Okay.
That is
I'm
way
sorry,
more
Hatch.
important than anything that is going on in sports right now. I guarantee it.
It's more important, but your segue was trash there. It's not better. It is, in fact, one of the worst things to happen in probably the past 10
I'm
years on
talking
YouTube.
that content in general when it comes to what I'm watching.
No. The content is better. Well, I don't know if I'd say better. It's different content in general. It's a dude in the fucking forest, bro. I don't know how you're describing
real
this or
shit.
comparing this. But we got to work on your segues, buddy. You made it sound like it was going to be something better than sports, and
It was.
Luke from the outdoor...
Dude.
You're not understanding. The news that he is retiring is not great news. That is one of the most depressing
it's
things.
devastating, right? But let me just say, his
Joe, do you
channel
see what
was
I deal with every week?
his channel. Back me up. You know who he is. His channel was more exciting than a lot of sports games, than the average sports game, easily.
I'm
They were
sorry,
real.
but you're just objectively wrong, Hatch.
No,
I know
bro.
you believe this opinion,
No,
but you're
dude.
just objectively wrong, and that's okay.
No, dude,
That
you're
is okay.
objectively wrong.
No, I'm not. There's
I can
see, though,
there's
with, like,
millions
with
more
sports-
people in this country who agree with me than agree with you. And I was a active subscriber to Outdoor Boys, and I love their content. I'm not hating on them.
Sounds like you are,
I'm
bro.
just saying what you're saying is objectively wrong.
I don't know,
in all
dude.
metrics.
I don't know.
The thing with sports though nowadays is there's so much there's too much political bullshit.
Oh
that
my
makes,
God!
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
So
that's
you
my
have-
that's
I
my
will
problem
say-
with sports. That's
You're
why
not-
I don't watch sports. Okay.
You're not wrong, Joe, but it has gone away. They've taken a lot of that shit out because
Yes.
they realized a lot of people were like, this is dumb. I don't want to pay attention to this. Like, there's no longer the the end racism stuff in the NFL that was there for a couple years, or
Right.
when the NBA had the bubble and it was like you could just choose whatever you want on your jersey, and it's like, well, I want to know what players on the court.
I think it's
like,
way more fun watching Luke from Outdoor Boys hunt ptarmigan in the Alaskan wilderness. I think that's way more fun and
Hatch,
entertaining.
you're just wrong, and that's
No,
okay.
bro, dude, you're crazy for that. Dude.
I'm not. This is actually a hill that there are metrics to show. Yes, he had 15 million subscribers. There are playoff sports games every night this week that are getting more viewers than that. I'm
Fake
sorry.
views. Fake views.
Yeah, that's the sport that I just sent that in the chat. That's the sport that Hatch watches.
All right, let's see it. Now
okay.
I have to
You know,
click
this
on
one.
it, bro. Come
There-
on.
The sport that has no political bullshit in it is hockey doesn't have much of that stuff, to be honest.
Respect. Hey, also, by the way, Florida, we really need Florida to really do their best right now because they have a chance to kick the last Canadian team out of the NHL playoffs. So we really need that. Let's go. We're all big
Yeah.
Florida fans right now.
Come on. Back to back.
Did you link me hobby horsing?
I did. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was expecting Hatch to watch.
You know
so
what? Now
that's
I'm
just what he
actually
watches.
gonna get into this. I'm gonna find some serious all-star horse riders for you guys, and I'm gonna drop some names next week for sure.
The irony in Hatch being unironically into hobby horsing just to spite me.
Is there betting in
can't-
hobby horsing?
Probably.
I gotta
I
Google
can't
it, dude.
write.
Here, go.
I can't. If this man becomes more profitable of a gambler than me on fucking hobby horsing of all things, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be live during the pod and it's gonna be ugly. All right, it's not gonna be good.
Oh, dude, hobby horsing betting.
What's the professional is there an acronym
Professional
for
league? Yeah.
Yeah.
The hobby horsing professional
The
league
hobby-
united.
The HHC, bro? The hobby horsing conglomerate or
Honestly,
whatever.
hockey horsing sounds so much more entertaining.
That's
Dude,
like-
they do it on ice skates?
That's like polo, basically.
That's now in an entertaining sport. There's danger and
Wait,
action happening.
horses on skates? That sounds
well,
insane.
we were going to do
Yeah.
hobby horsing, but horses on skates, that sounds even more
You guys
interesting.
realize
Sounds
horses
insane.
on ice alone is already just funny enough because they can't grip, so they're just sliding
Hobby
around.
horsing is
So what if they're actually super fast if they have ice
What if they're
skates on?
superhuman
Like,
horses?
They don't know how to, like, a giraffe when it first learns to walk, like, it's all, like, squiggly and whatnot.
Yep.
Is like, you put ice
Evolution,
skates
Joe.
on a baby giraffe when it's learning to walk, and it's faster than, like, a falcon.
dude. You might be onto something,
True.
Joe.
But I think evolution could
I'm
solve
off to
all
Africa.
here.
Yeah.
The horses that can't handle it, they'll obviously fall and break a leg or something, and obviously, they have to be put down. There's no way to
But through
heal a broken horse
evolution
leg. So,
and
but
breeding.
that's what I'm saying. So the ones that get the best at coming right out of the womb and stepping onto the ice and dominating the sport will be pushed further up in the ladder and just like, hey, I don't know if you guys saw this, but during the last the Kentucky Derby this past year, every single horse in the race was a descendant of the Secretariat horse, the
Really?
last Triple Crown winner.
Every single one?
Yes.
Wow,
It had
that's actually
semen
pretty crazy, not
from
gonna
the
lie.
Secretariat inside of them. I'm not joking.
No way. That's actually insane.
So that definitely applies for athletes, too. So, like, if you're not born from a...
There's a reason
Really
Ken Griffey
skilled.
Senior and Junior played on the same team together.
Okay, if you could have one.
There's a reason
one,
Bronny and James do. Like, I mean,
Well, all right.
nepotism.
There's yeah.
What were you gonna say, Brando?
I was gonna say, if you could have one elite athlete, inside the army,
What?
DNA, bloodline.
Pause.
Gene or whatever,
Pause.
yeah.
We're just not gonna ask this question. This is not a YouTube friendly question, Brando.
No, so I went to the U.S. Hobby Horse Championships, and they have a video plan. This is the whitest shit ever.
Patch, can you please enter the U.S. Hobby Horsing
Oh,
Championships?
dude,
and
I need you to-
fucking dominate these kids.
All right, hobby
you
hor-
already know you're more
I got you.
athletic.
How do you sign
If
in? How do I
learn the
sign in? How do I
fundamentals
get in?
slash
Hobby
technique,
horsing
you
competition.
can dominate some kids.
Yeah, how do I... United States Hobby
We gotta
Horse...
get Mark Crescent to sponsor you, too.
Dude, I was
HJ.
right. It's the
Oh.
HHC, bro. Hobby Horse Championships.
Well, it's the U.S. HHC,
you're right.
technically.
You're
So,
definitely right.
you know.
But I was close
I'll
enough.
give you 75% on that one.
Yeah, good enough for me. Okay, why are they all?
Mark
Why
Russell
are they
would
all
be
like
over
10?
that
Why are they
with
all
the
like 10 years old?
HHD,
Bro?
like
Have you not seen this on TikTok? This is an exclusive like 12-year-old sport. That's why it'd be even more funny for you looking the way you
ever seen that? You ever seen that
to
video
go and
where-
hurdle fucking shit with a plastic wooden horse in between your legs?
Have you ever seen that one where it's like Kai Cenat? He's going to play like sixth graders in basketball, and he's like talking shit to these sixth graders, like dunking on these sixth graders. That would be
no,
me.
but keeping it on the topic we were talking about, what's actually very funny with hobby horsing, if you watch what they're doing, these girls would be great hurdlers.
Yeah.
Like they would actually
This picture that I'm
be
looking at is insane.
Decent track level, like they could probably make a D1 college somewhere. Please, someone just put them into that. Like, god damn.
Let me tell you, there's a link for sponsorship information. I'm clicking on it.
Is FTS going to sponsor the US?
No,
USHHC?
dude, they're gonna sponsor FTS.
No, Hatch, I don't think that's what that
No,
link's
you're
for.
right.
I
It
think
says
it's for the
donate.
other way
Get me
around.
outta here, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
outta
Are
here.
we going to sponsor? All I'm saying, if they could jump over our logo on a bunker, that would be amazing. That would be all worth it.
Oh my god.
How much is it?
dude. Yeah, how much? Yeah, how much?
How much is it? If the money's there, they won't
for
care.
a gate, yeah.
For
How much?
I closed out because I was
This is
pissed.
a
To be
new
honest.
Patreon
All right.
goal.
I got
If we
you.
can get to, whatever the number of Patreons we
Here
need,
we go.
we will sponsor the USHHC. I'm not shitting you
Are we
guys.
going for 75 Patreons?
Basic
Get
level.
75 Patreons.
Hatch, I don't think you realize 75 Patreons will not cover this expense. We need more. So whatever
It's gonna be
the-
like $100. Watch.
whatever the cheapest sponsorship level
How do you
is,
do
let's
this?
find that out.
$200 saddle up supporter. You have the company logo featured on USHHC website sponsorship page and an opportunity to include material in registration bag.
Bro, we
Yes!
totally need to do this, bro.
Yes,
Dude, come on.
How much? You said $200.
$200. All right, hey.
So,
anybody listening, we
Every
really need to
Patreon's
clock
about
in.
$6. We make about $5 after you take Patreon fees out. Let's go $200 divided by 5. If there are 45 people on the Patreon, we will sponsor the USHHC championships. I am not joking. I am not shitting you. This is a deal I am handshake making with the podcast audience
There we
right
go.
now live.
We're here.
This is something we will do.
I'm in it, bro.
Oh my god,
Dude,
it's
this is amazing.
$200. I thought it'd be so much more.
$200, bro.
That
That is
yeah.
nice.
Brady, you're gonna need to
Witnessing
send me these
history.
links. I'm gonna need to keep these in case we're
Oh,
actually gonna
I
need to pay
got
this.
the PDF. Yes, I downloaded the
good.
PDF.
Good. What and when is the event? Do we have time?
Shit.
Yeah, let me see. 2025 competition class lists.
Is there like a
you look
nationals
at that.
in September?
I'm looking straight out the sponsorship patch. You look at that. Here, I'm gonna read you the
It's
most.
during school vacation. That's
Class
what it is.
is it?
Because
yeah, that makes
what's
sense.
great is we can 100% say it to them like, hey, we just heard about it. We had some extra money we wanted to give away for our business. We think it would be great to go towards you guys. Here's our logo. If you could put that on your banners and stuff, that would be all we ask.
That is a tax write-off donation, bro.
Well, it is, but also I just want.
I think that would be
Oh
sick.
my god, Hatch! Just imagine this. A year from now, you're scrolling Instagram Reels. You see a reel with 20 million views and 500,000 comments making fun of the person in it. But you know what's behind them over their left shoulder?
FTS logo,
From
baby.
the fucking sidelines, baby.
Dude. Bro, all right.
This is something we're doing.
We are committing to this.
Our patrons are able to do their part. I swear to fucking God, we will do this.
Dude, this is some serious shit that I like that we're getting into. Who is this
I don't
fucking
like that
goofy
we're
ass
getting
guy
into.
that I'm looking at, bro? How do I send just this
Hatch,
photo?
you're doing that thing where you're thinking we're on a Discord call and you're just looking at Google now.
No, I actually. What the fuck? I clicked on it now. I have names of the Western Trail class
See,
lists. What the hell?
I see the whiteness hitting your face. You can't hide it.
All right, I'm out of
This is like that one time we did a pod. It was one of the earlier ones. And as we were doing the pod, I look over at Discord and it says Hatch or fucking the Hatch Project playing Elden Ring. And I was like, hey, buddy, what are you doing over there?
No, and I remember I go,
This is when we were audio only. This was before video.
I look over and I go, oh shit, my Elden Ring is on. And I'm just sitting there just getting fucking wrecked.
Yeah, it was on. Yeah.
It totally wasn't becoming
I know
Elden
for
Lord
a
in the
fact
background.
you've played during meetings for DMG. So
Oh, that is a fact.
past you
That is
you
a
were doing
fact
it
that I will not
during
deny.
the podcast when you don't care.
No,
These were
dude,
the early days. This was episode 15.
dude, when they're
16.
like, when we're reiterating 15 minutes on one bounce shot, bro, dude, I got the bounce shot. I understand. I'm on it. Right? That's not like, I'm not
you
even on that
really
side of
know
the
it?
field, but it's important to know it. There we go, people. There we go. It's important to know every single bounce shot, even though you're not on that side of the field. But
Fuck yeah, it is.
Elden Ring is
you
also
guys want
important
to talk
to play
about the
during
hot, spicy topic that came out just about an hour before we went live today?
yes, I do, bro. Yes, I do.
So paintball's most infamous player,
Alex Frazier.
I don't know why it's that crazy of a thing, but paintball's most infamous player, Marcelo Margot, got picked up by a new team, and it's a little bit of a shocker. There was a couple guesses of where he would go. I thought it would be a different spot, but Hatch got it right. Where'd he go, Hatch?
He went to Tampa Bay Damage. So, the guys over in Florida picked him up. And I assume Marcel's a California guy. So, he's going to be flying all the time over for practice. So, good for him, right?
I do believe so. It also kind of makes sense sponsorship-wise. HK is still with them. I know HK obviously didn't end their relationship, which, I think is fair. We talked about that with Alex. I think Marcelo should have got his licks. I think he should have, gotten the jokes and everything that comes with it. But I don't think he should have lost his
absolutely
spot on the team or any of that stuff.
And let me tell you, that's what I was fearing for. I was like, dude, I am praying that this is just not one of those things that can tarnish your whole entire reputation, because that would just suck and just be so uncalled for.
Yeah, no, hey, he messed up. He did something that probably wasn't the best thing. But I also feel like Marcelo Margot is not a complete asshole. Like, I don't know. Alex said it best.
I've practiced against the guy a little bit, but
but that's all pros in practice. Let's be real, man.
Hey, he's a little different. He's on the different side of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah, you're fair. You're fair with that. But no, I think in general, Alex put it the best when he's known him the longest out of all of us. I've met him at practices and stuff for the last couple of years, and I've never gotten the vibe that he actually hates people or is not cool with someone just because of what they look like or anything like that. So yeah, is what it is. Yeah, fucking.
It's cool that at least teams are still like, you know what, fuck it, right? We're gonna pick him up as a good paintball player.
Dude, he shouldn't be blackballed from the league. All right, he's one of the better players. Any paintball team that puts him on there is gonna just get better. So, and hey, it looks like Damage realized that and kind of were like, "Fuck it, we don't care. We'll take whatever the quote unquote black eye is for this."
Absolutely right, and I'm excited to see the shakeup. Right? How often? You don't really see mid-season pickups, let alone a high-profile mid-season pickup. So.
Brando, I thought we could go 1 week with your camera working for the whole entire episode.
Computer's fried. That's next.
It might be his computer, because this is the first time it's been a complete gray out on everything.
He didn't say he forgives. He did not say he forgives Marcelo Margot, dude. That's why he's out of here, bro.
Yep.
Come on,
he
dude.
came through the wire. Yep.
What do you think about the Damage show?
Good for Damage for picking them up, for picking Marcelo up. I'm going off of only having very few encounters with Marcelo. He seems like he's just another dude. He just was he made his. He's got to feed himself and his family at the end of the day. So he wants to play paintball.
I also understand too that people are different behind the scenes. The person you see at a public event, at a practice and stuff, they are, different people when you back to their house. But at the same time, I've never gotten the vibe that that's who he is as a person. Where I'm going to be honest, there's some pros where I'm like, okay, man, I'm just going to put that in the back of my head and kind of, okay, you said that.
I'm not the biggest Marcelo fan just because, I practiced against him for a long time. Right?
No, I know. And that's the thing. You dislike him, but more so because you've just beaten your sword against his for a while, and there's just animosity that comes with that. It doesn't necessarily it's not fucking, I don't know. What's the right way to say it? Why are you guys laughing? What did
I said,
When you said beating your swords against each other.
Mine out the gutter, Joe.
that is great.
That's funny that's what you guys go to, because that's literally the word that Hatch loves to call his paintball markers.
No,
so
I did
when
not
I call
do
that weird.
That went over my
it.
head, bro. Dude, that is
I'm sorry.
Your swords clashing, but when you beat your swords up.
It's been a long day. Dude, my mind is
you got me good, bro. That is so funny.
I will say, I've said worse sus shit on the pod. That's not the most sus one, so that's.
I'm sorry.
That's wild.
I didn't even take it as sus. until he said that.
That's what I meant because you understood what I was saying. And there's been worse
iron
ones.
against iron, bro. Iron against iron.
Coming on dudes.
Flesh against flesh.
We've said that at point, all right?
Absolutely, bro. Whatever sword you're fighting, dude. Iron on iron, flesh on flesh, whatever you choose, bro. What the fuck did you
Okay.
Brando, what did you say that?
Hey, yo, I got video of you
What are we
beating
talking
other
about?
stuff. Hey,
Facts.
yep, straight up.
Hey, Anthony, I hope this entertained you at your overnight shift, bro, because goddamn, this has been a wild episode, man. We've been talking about fucking beating swords with each other. Are we going to start talking about Finster
How many
next?
bees it would take to carry a human?
And I'm telling you, it wouldn't be the grip.
Brandon.
They pick you up via fist style. I'm telling you, dude.
Like the Magic Glove in Super Smash.
Yes.
And yeah, Melee.
That's
yeah.
exactly how they pick you up. They form a giant
You know
Mickey
what?
Mouse
Fuck
glove.
it. Yeah, Hatch. Yep, that's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna just form together. They're gonna become a Voltron, actually, like a Megazoid type thing, where they just form together to join and make one other giant.
Next time we
6'5"
see Joe,
human,
next time we see Joe,
which
he's
is
gonna be in a
look
bee
down
mech
at
suit.
you.
When Joe gets his own custom Mad Bees, he's gonna have a bee mech suit when he comes to the next event. I'm telling you, bro.
Custom Mad Bees. What? Okay, bee
I'm just
suit,
gonna have him carry me around from field to field.
What do you mean by bee suit? Do you mean like bees are the physical
Bee
thing?
mech
Like,
suit,
what?
bro. It's like Iron Man, but
nano,
for bees.
like
I don't
nanobots, but
understand.
made out of bees.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the translation, Brandon. I needed that on this one.
My bad. Thank you,
I got
Brando.
you now. I got you. That would be sick, Joe. I feel like they would get pretty pissed because they'd be getting shot all day.
Not even. They would slow the paintball down enough to where it would just fall out. You know, like Superman style.
Tell Michelle to leave, Brandon. Stop talking to your fucking wife during the podcast. He's doing it. Look at him, guys. Look at him just not caring about the show.
Dude,
We
Listen,
have a podcast
it's those thick
that
thighs.
over
If it wasn't for
a
the thick
couple hundred
thighs, then
people
I
are
would
gonna
say
listen
we have a
to.
problem. But
dude,
since it's
the
those
thick
thick
thighs.
thighs,
my
are going,
girlfriend
Damn
had
dude.
surgery. My girlfriend had surgery yesterday, and you don't see me talking to her, bro. I don't care.
She's still in
My
the
right hand's right next to me, and you don't see me trying to get his attention.
Exactly.
Look, there's a reason you
His.
can't see my right hand. So,
Okay, don't say that after you talk to your wife, dog. That makes it too
I love the
real and
little
creepy.
giggle, Joe. No, dude. Yeah, it's a good landing spot for Marcelo. That's what we were talking about, right? Yeah.
That's what we were talking about a long time
You know, I
ago.
really think he's gonna thrive on that team with
Galaxy
Joey
far,
and
far
Jason
away.
and Jacob. You know, just a really great pickup overall.
All right, well, talk about Seaple then, you fuckers. You guys decided to sell fruit?
Oh
Little
yeah,
fruitcakes?
absolutely, dude. So me and Cedar, mostly Cedar. Cedar took the reins on a ton of it. We basically made what I was calling the dedication fruit stand. You know, we were having the local, not the local, but
You guys
obviously
looked like you swam across a river.
What?
Put that one together. Put that one together.
Oh yes sir, Right,
Oh.
and let me tell
There
you,
you
dude.
go, Joe. There you go,
Oh.
Joe. He got it.
Hey, and let me just
That's
say,
my boy.
it was
I'll type it in the chat for
See?
you guys.
that was great.
it was so much fun because I've never done anything like that, right? And it was cool because all the proceeds went straight back into the DMG organization, right? And oh yeah, exactly like that, dude. We had the tahine, bro. We had everything.
We did.
Bro.
God,
And
you did. Okay.
I'm telling you, dude,
Jesus.
we
Did
were-
you have some corn that
No,
you
I had
put
pe-
into a container and then threw a whole bunch of shit
I had
on top
reliable
of it?
sources that people love tahine. Apparently, you know, I had some
They do.
reliable
No, yeah,
sources.
the people do be
We
loving
are in
tahine.
California.
Absolutely right. And so
It's not any of us actually. The four of us don't be loving
Hell
tahine.
no.
No,
but the
not a
people
fan.
do be loving tahine.
yes, exactly right. So I had my girlfriend man in the station. Caden brought his girlfriend as well, and it was just overall just a really fun experience. Because it's cool for me because I'm bringing my girlfriend into the paintball community, and she's getting to meet more people. And she, like, on the car ride home, she's like, "Oh man, that was so much fun. I met so much people." And she was like, a ton of people were like, "Oh, yeah, like, I know Hatch," and blah, blah, blah. Dude, some people even came by and just donated. Didn't even buy fruit, just donated to us, which was amazing to see. Like, dude, shout out to Did It Hurt Paul, bro. He came over and he donated it just to show that he loves us as an organization. You know, to me that meant so much. It melted my heart, if I'm being honest. I was like, damn, it was awesome because we're reffing in the sun.
Wait, I'm putting things together. Hatch, you want to just come fucking move to Texas, dog?
I don't know, dude.
Because like I'm putting
going
two
on
to
over
two
there?
together right now. Why were you guys fucking fundraising? I've
So-
never seen that organization
no,
do that in my life.
no,
That's weird.
So it was thrown out to us like, I mean, we're at a sepal, like we're at the tournament. like we're reffing. We actually got the idea from Storm because they talked about having a fruit stand to help with costs, whatever cost. I think it was originally like paint for practice, just so they
you
could
guys
get
doing
more
a bake sale?
or whatever. I mean, hey,
You guys know you're playing on an organization that used to be a pro organization, right?
Yeah,
By the way,
absolutely used to be.
By the way.
Ready
And
for
you
this
guys
one? It's not
guys are-
pro anymore.
Yeah, it's not. But now you're hosting a bake sale to cover your
Anything.
cost. Love that.
And-
Love that, by the way.
Absolutely, anything. You know what I'm saying? One thing I learned in paintball: nothing is free, baby. Nothing is free. So if you want it, you got to work for it, and that's exactly what we're doing. So it's rejuvenating, I guess. It was.
Dude,
it was cool.
I wonder if the All Stars are hosting a bake sale.
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know. Probably not.
All Stars.
Kansas City.
Well, luckily we put our love and everything into it. So
Into the fruit, and that's why people bought it.
exactly. That's exactly why people bought it.
Yeah, that was the whipped. No,
Yep, Brandon knew where I was going. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. It was an easy one. It was just,
Yeah. Overall, the Sepple though, dude, tons of fun, bro. Saw some
You guys are still
shenanigans.
reffing?
Yeah, saw some shenanigans, dude. Saw this. Obviously, you know me, Field 2 for life. 3-man's going on over there, and it's like this kid bunkers this old dude. Like the guy's like 50, and the kid is maybe like 14, maybe. Bunkers him and gives him like 4 shots right to the butt.
It's always the kids, bro.
Right, gives him 4 shots right to the butt, and the old man is like, "Oh, I'm out!" Right, instantly. And then the old man is so mad, he picks up his gun with one hand and starts shooting at the kid.
what the?
And-
We can't do that, buddy.
No, you ready for this? This is the worst part. He didn't hit a single ball, dude.
That's
and I
great. I love
dude,
that.
And
That's
I'm
karma.
like, hey, player, none of that shit. Get the fuck off the field, right?
Did you
And
grab the barrel? Did you grab the barrel?
No, I did not grab the barrel, but obviously,
Gotta grab the barrel, man.
dude, I'm
Grabbed the gun, told him to go away, never to come back to paintball
yes,
ever again.
dude. I
You
was
actually
wondering
just
what
kept the gun.
I was wondering what the fuck was going on with that clip. I need some explanation with that one. But anyway,
Yeah. Dude, I will say, a little bit in his defense, it is always the kids, bro. Fucking anytime I have to film, Hydra kids or a fucking, Houston Zone kids. There was a couple kids teams I was filming at USXPL. Not gonna lie, those fuckers love to shoot sideline people a lot more
that
than
is a
people who are
fact.
20 years old.
That is a fact.
And look, I get it. You guys are jumpy. You're scared. You don't want to get run down on. You don't want to make a mistake. You're trying to hold your lanes. Don't shoot the media people. And look, if we're in your lane, you're trying to shoot someone. It happens. We get it. If I'm standing on a side of a field where no one's at, you just start sending balls at me. Every clip I post of you is going to be you getting bunkered or getting run down. Okay, that is how it works. So don't
You have to
make
remember-
friends or don't make enemies of us.
You have to remember, that might be their only kill in the whole entire day.
What,
though,
me?
Ryan. So,
Fucking
That
me?
the
is
media.
so
I mean,
valid. They're like, you know what?
a kill
is a kill.
I can't shoot anything.
It's
so,
it's
exactly.
an awful thing, but you know what? You shoot me, you get your kill, all your footage get deleted.
It's the
Tough
same
shit.
with
Or
fans.
post
I'll
up a
shoot the
bad
shit out of
video.
refs, bro. And like one of my favorite parts about like AHAL on the pro field, like I've seen some rookies come up and try to start overshooting players, and in the meantime a ref gets shot to shit, and like AHAL will call him over and be like, hey, you fucking knock that shit off. Like, you don't fucking overshoot my refs. Like, make sure it's just the fucking player you're hitting. Because, dude, like, it just makes it so much more shitty for us to be out there. We're not gonna be your friends if you're roping us all day.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the
And
worst.
on the divisional field too, it's like the sidelines are so much smaller too. So
worse.
like we're right there.
You're standing on top of the snake guy taking a photo.
Yeah, I'm not bird dogging. I'm just trying to get a good like angle.
Yeah, and
Trying to do my job.
Don't shoot me, please.
the worst thing is when I'm just like sitting there covering my zone, and then all of a sudden, right in my back, dude, flashbacks to the beginning of scene of Tropic Thunder. I'm just catching it, and I'm just like going down to my knees, and I'm like, oh, dude, this motherfucker.
Getting those back shots.
Exactly, dude. Hey,
See, that's a more sus thing. See, that is a more suspect thing I said.
Every night with the
alright?
boys.
oh yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? Swords clashing.
I was talking about back shots at the field, but okay.
Yeah.
No, the field's dirty. You don't want it there.
Yeah, facts. I like
That's
being
how you
clean.
get that's how you get diseases and stuff.
Dude,
It's not
on
good.
field 2, I was on field 1 because
Yeah? How was that segue?
I'm always picked on field 1, you assholes. And I happen to, like, our point's done, and I happen to look up and to see field 2, a 3-man team walking onto the field just got chronoed. and some motherfucker, some other player goes running out to the box with no mask. What
the fuck?
He didn't have a gun on. He ran out. I was like, what the fuck? He made it all the way
No
to
way.
the box, and he goes, oh. And he stops and he pulls his beanie down above his eyes and starts running back. I was like,
What the fuck? No way. I did not see that.
How did he get past everybody?
I love how that was a moment where you were the only person who saw that happening.
I
you
think
were too
ever.
far to do anything. Where you were like,
Hey,
no.
It's like that scene from It's like that scene from Interstellar. We're like,
Exactly.
no.
The bookcase.
Oh,
through
dude.
the bookcase.
Fuck, dude.
There was a time I saw something like that too. It was at a 5-man up at the Winter Classic up at AG, and the other team didn't show up to the start box whatsoever. So the horn goes. They still play the point, and then one of the players on the team that didn't show up started to came out of nowhere and started to run to the acted like he was running to the start box. Didn't even touch the start box. Didn't even go to the start box, and just started shooting from the corner, and just out of nowhere. And it's like,
Yeah, you attack.
what's going on?
You've never seen that before? Attack insert. No.
Oh yeah,
It was
Respawn.
it was wild,
There's a perk in Modern
Some
Warfare
wild
2.
shit
Yeah.
you see in Divisionals.
I remember.
Yeah. You go,
dude. And then actually,
Oh, yeah.
That's how you hit your trick
have you
shot.
guys seen the Dead Man's Walk too?
Dude,
Did
bro.
see that. That was recent.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I sent it to you.
Yes, dude, Brando, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah, dude.
Beautiful job,
That
man.
is one of the
Beautiful job.
craziest Dead Man Walks I've ever seen.
So and to
Yes.
so
Did
and
everything
crazy. The story behind it for the listeners is so this team where this guy did the Dead Man's Walk, there was 2 guys that decided to play the whole entire day because their first match of the day, the team, their paint was shitty. It was breaking cold. Paint was breaking everywhere. The whole team besides these 2 guys decide to just leave. So these 2 guys play a full day of X-Ball, playing 2-on-5.
Respect.
Respect.
The whole entire
Do you know the
event.
team name?
So, yeah, it was so it's Kyle Osier was on the team, but the team was AG Invasion that was the playing.
Hey, we respect them.
I've seen that happen once at Seapole,
but
and
it's-
it was 3 guys, and they played the rest of the day. Respect. That's
So,
yeah.
and everybody has shitty paint days. We all understand that. But Kyle Osier and I believe it was James Child are the 2 guys that stuck it out throughout the whole day. So last
Real
game
men.
of the day, they go up against one of their rival teams that they
They're
play at their
trying some
field.
shit at this point. It sounds like.
So Kyle is like, I'm gonna run out to the corner, and then he runs out to the corner and gets up and just casually walks down the sideline oh yeah, I got hit, but didn't signal himself.
doesn't put up the gun. Doesn't raise a hand.
Nothing. So he's casually walking down the sideline, and he probably says something to the 50 ref. He's like, "Hey, I'm still
I'm alive. I'm an alive player.
And so
yeah.
gets to their corner, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, kills everyone, and it was
The commentators
why?
are going crazy.
yeah, dude, it was beautiful. If people want to see it, it's such a good
But yeah, I was
Great-
gonna say
great
respect
move.
to the webcast because they follow him the whole way. He stays inbound.
Yeah.
He never signals that he was a dead player by either raising a hand, by saying something to a ref, by raising his gun. He just walks inbounds the whole way, gets to their corner, proceeds to lift his marker and kill all 5. It's beautiful. One of the refs do try to call a fucking major on him because they think he was a hit player, but he's like, no, check me. There's not a hit on my body. That side ref saw me walk the whole way. I never wiped. I'm clean. I'm a live player. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you shoot everyone on a paintball field.
Dude,
if you don't see a marker covering them or a hand in the air, you put a paintball on them.
Brando, back me up. If I did that, if I shot a guy walking off, just standing there, I'm getting a penalty.
I mean, if he's dead.
But Hatch, I think the difference is you.
How am I supposed to know?
But also, Hatch, you won it because you take it to this extreme where it's yeah, I would get a penalty. Yeah, if you lane the fuck out of him. But if you see a player walking off and you just send a ball at him because he's not putting his hand up or anything, I don't think any ref is gonna be fucking, hey, you, fucking
if
kill
they're-
yourself,
if they're-
fucking pull him, give me your card,
if
you're
they're-
in jail. No one's gonna do
If
that,
they're
Hatch.
walking
I don't know,
towards,
Brando.
if
Back
they're
me up.
if they're walking towards us,
Yeah,
still
if you
in the
come
field of
out
play.
the lane and you just see a player and you react. No one is gonna.
I think it
give
also,
you shit for
dude.
that.
What side was his pit on? You know, imagine if he's like walking past his
opposite
entire
side.
pit and he's
Exactly,
basically going
yeah.
towards the enemy's pit. He's like,
It has to be opposite side for it to work.
absolutely. And so I'm trying to think, is like, was it
But
exactly
but
that?
if he's walking in the, it's clear as day. You could tell
That's the other
if
thing
they're
too.
in the
Inbounds is
field.
a big difference.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, you see a player walk off, they run to get out of bounds because then that's the like, now I can
Now I'm
kind of
safe.
walk because now everyone knows like if you shoot at me, you're a dick because I'm clearly behind the refs and no longer in play.
I want to see some more dead man walks, bro.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Go back to like 07 footage. It was a big thing
I
before we
want to see
started
some.
talking about it
I want to see some
online.
new stuff. I want to see some new
It
stuff.
doesn't
with
happen
my,
anymore.
With my own
like
eyes.
that's why this clip was so good because it's just such a rare occurrence.
Man,
Yeah,
dude.
and the age of these players too, these young guns coming up, like they're
didn't get
told
it.
what to do, like exactly what to do, and they don't understand this part of the sport. They're just
never
like,
seen it.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've never seen it. They're like, okay, I need a lane, I need to hold this lane, I need to do this when this goes on, but they're not thinking of like how to maneuver on the field without
They
someone
never
telling me
watched
what
a
to do.
Tech PB video back in the day with our boy Mike Phillips fucking
Oh,
teaching
I
us how
remember
to
that.
dead man's walk. That was a legitimate video that man made back in the day. Y'all fucking kids better learn some shit.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember the Pinocchio.
I was gonna say the other thing, like talking about these kids learning shit. Like, bro, I was watching a D4 match at USXBL. This man in the home tried to pod toss like a wing that was at like the 50-yard line, and credit where credit's due. The pod hit the bunker, but it also exploded by that point because he had to fucking chuck it from the home. And it,
Jeez.
you know, obviously, bro, paintball's everywhere. Anyone who sees that is gonna be like, the bunker did move, but that looked really weird. I'm not gonna go run right around and see if someone's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love that too, because you do see that at times where, like, divisional players will watch the pros do something and then try to emulate it, but not understand fully why they're doing it or when is the right situation to pull that move out.
Definitely. I mean, especially, dude, a dead man walk, bro. When do you pull that shit out? I guess when 3 of your guys quit.
Yeah, like that is the time when you're just like, fuck it, dude.
When you're 0-3
we
for the
ball.
tournament, it's the last match of the day.
Fuck it. Gotta get one.
You got nothing.
Yeah,
Gotta get one.
That
You
is
got
awesome,
pride.
bro.
Uh,
Jeez. Could not be me.
What's something I was gonna go into there? I did forget it. But yeah, no, USXPL was good. As I mentioned at the top, ran into a lot of people. Also talked with Yosh Designs for a bit. We had a good like 20-minute chat.
Love that guy.
I always love when I get to see Josh. It is cool to see him more now because I'm down here in Texas. He was pitting for I think his girlfriend was playing on a like D5 team, so
That's
that was
awesome.
cool. I think it was her first time playing X-ball, so you know,
that's sick.
love to see it to growth in the sport. Also ran into Verb was out there, so talk with him for a bit.
Yep.
Our boy Stretch as well. He decided because he was still driving home from Atlantic City because you know he's Stretch. So he decided to make the stop in Texas and pick up a couple teams out here. Turns out he was actually also shooting for Austin Assault, which is the team that always hires me. So that was cool. We gotta be on the field at the same
Work
time.
together.
As you know, Joe, whenever you're filming a team, or doing photos at the same time, you just get to hang out with the dude a lot because you're always around them for the games, and it just there's a lot of time where you're doing the same stuff. So we actually did collaborate on a couple small things. He was trying some interesting 360 angles and stuff out. But yeah, cool event. Austin Assault made it into the quarters for D4, which is sick. This is their first year playing D4 as a whole. So love that for those
cool.
boys. It's a great group of guys who fucking put a lot into the sport. It was kind of bittersweet because the nice part about that was we were all able to go home from Dallas a little earlier. But yeah, it was like, damn man, I'm already stuck here for 2 games. Come on, boys, you better win this one. Like I want the finals win now. Like I want that footage. But yeah, I think that's a group of guys that they can get it done at some point in the future. But yeah, the other team was Oni. Oni had some Oni themselves moments. They lost a 4v5 where a team couldn't get 5 players out to the box. So it's never a great sign for the weekend. So yeah, not much from them, but filmed all their matches. I'll get a cool video, make them look cool, and the couple points they did do good. Dude, I gotta give a fucking shout out to Wyatt. Always want to pump up the kid when he
Love
does
my
good
guy
shit.
Wyatt.
Bro,
my
he
boy.
was killing it. Don't want to throw names out there on the pod, but his 2 during the weekend on the D side was just kind of out of it. Wasn't really talking a lot. Was in a bunker that he was uncomfortable playing, and it just was not a position he was good in.
Did they play another
and
guy there?
so,
Or was he the only guy that was playing there?
Potentially, I'm not gonna go with that on the pod.
Gotcha.
But I will say, like, there was a couple points I was over there filming Wyatt, and dude was stepping up for it. You know, being a 1, he was the fucking dude communicating and connecting all the information across for his 2, who was not really doing, you know, his job for him there. You know, he was also, I think, like, one point I watched him fucking get a 3-pack on some guys,
Hell
you know,
yeah.
make some good moves. So yeah, good job, Y. Trying to think, fucking, you know, it was a little sad. Anthony didn't play as much, so didn't get as much footage of our boy Anthony Hernandez. Not fully sure the reason there, but yeah, there was just some rough moments for Oni as a whole. So we don't love to see that. Hopefully they'll come back stronger for the next event. And yeah, man. So that was kind of the quick USXPL take. I guess nothing. Trying to think, there wasn't nothing else all that crazy. Hung out with Lastro a bit. He showed up as the Glizzard Wizard for
I love
a
that
little
guy,
bit.
bro. I miss that guy so much.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he was
That
the
dude-
Glizzy and the Wizard at the same time. I'm actually really sad because we used to live very close to each other, and this week he is now moving a good chunk of distance away, so that makes me very sad. I will miss the boy, but we will still hang out at some events, and we do technically work for the same company, so I will see him at some points for that. But yeah, that's been kind of, you know, the stuff going on down here in Texas for USXBL. Fucking drove all the way up to Dallas, dealt with all that shit. It was a good time. We had some fun thunderstorms on the way, so
Nice.
So yeah, it was real Texas paintball all the way through and through.
All right, you want to hear something kind of cool that I did? Brian, you'd be proud. So
No.
once
Can I ask something about
Absolutely.
USXPL?
You got it, Brando.
There was apparently some like drone that had taken a photo of the layout. Does USXPL do blind layouts?
Yeah.
They do. I haven't.
Did they find
heard-
that person?
I haven't heard of this story, so I don't know. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing this, so I don't have any more
Someone
info.
leaked the layout.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
It wasn't leaked in the circles I'm in, at least, so like I didn't see it. But yeah, that would be big because yeah, USXPL, it's just like WC where it's meant to be a blind layout. It's run very
that's so
similarly. Mike is also the owner of that league. I think he bought it 2 years ago. So yeah, so that, I mean, that's not good. I didn't know that happened. That's yeah. It's an unfair
What do you know?
advantage.
What day was it?
Was it like Wednesday or something? Because I think
Yeah, it was either
Thursday maybe. Because
Wednesday
I
or
think Friday
Thursday.
they open it up as like people are allowed to come in and start looking at the layout. But yeah, maybe they set it up like Thursday afternoon and someone just put a drone super high up and
Interesting.
started taking photos of it or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it was either Thursday or Wednesday. I saw it. I'm like, wow. That's,
All right, paintball
that's
parks. We now got to get anti-drone scramblers.
Yep. There we go, dude. God damn it.
That's
Or we
crazy.
get a massive amount of bees that can form a fist and can grab.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, because
Okay.
as we all know, this is what bees will do.
That's exactly what they. We just don't know yet. We haven't experienced them do that.
We're gonna
No,
train
Ash,
them.
we do know. That is what they will do. They will
We're
become
gonna-
a giant hand.
Thank you.
Once I retire from paintball media, I will train the drones. I mean, train the bees.
You will
to
be
So
the bee
Joe,
master.
form shapes.
What you may stumble into the most lucrative business decision you've ever made in your life, being that drones are like one of the most scary military things now. If you could find a way to train bees to take down drones, you have a $1 billion government contract for the rest of your life.
Well, do you know, like, and sometimes, like, in
What
the
I'm telling you is leave paintball media, bro. Go make
Okay.
money.
all right. With that being said,
Military
No, we're
bees.
not.
They're gonna be wearing the camo bees.
Hey, it's just like the dolphins, all right? We tried to teach them how to talk with humans. That didn't work. We tried to teach them how to detect mines. That really didn't work. So now they just save us from fucking sharks.
Yep. Basically. But
Also, orcas are pretty chill, too. Orcas in the wild are pretty chill.
I agree. You don't see very many orca attacks unless it's at SeaWorld.
Well, so it's at SeaWorld, and the only time it really does happen, there was a pod of orcas that, like, there was a whole thing where they started, feeling like they were getting attacked and they fought back. But legitimately,
Oh, I have heard
if
that,
an
actually.
orca finds a person, like not like a boat or something, they just find a person, a lot of the times they're not going to attack it.
They're just
gonna be
they're curious.
Oh, that's weird. What the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I don't know why you're here.
They're just like, let me observe, and they just kind of swim around you a little bit, right? And I mean, I
Same
think
thing
that
with
orcas
dolphins.
are smart enough to where they're like, all right, that's a human being. That's not even worth my time.
Or maybe not even that it's a human being, but just that's different from us. Like, I've never seen that, or I've only seen that once before. I don't understand it. But the other one is like dolphins. But the problem with dolphins is they'll also try to rape you.
Yeah, that shit's insane.
Yeah, I'm not joking. That is a real
Yeah.
thing that
they
dolphins
have,
will
they
try
have a
to
bro
do.
code too. They have a bro
Yeah, they
code.
do. They do. Dolphins are actually, I mean, they're pretty chill. They're one of the only other mammals on the earth that has sex for
fun.
recreation. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
And they
me
do
too.
drugs too. I'm not joking. They've found that
Pufferfish.
dolphins will find like certain, the pufferfish, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just fucking suck them up. You know, get their
Guys,
poison.
Up away.
I think if I have to come back as an animal, I want to be a dolphin.
Ooh.
Oh shit! If I had to be if I had to be an animal, what would I come back as?
They can
bro?
fight off sharks.
Sheesh.
Nah,
I
I
was
want
just
to.
saying.
I want to. I want
Maybe
to.
come back as like a water moccasin or something.
Water moccasin. You just want to fucking be super venomous?
Well, no, at that point it's like nobody really fucks with you because you're a water moccasin. You know, no humans mess with you.
Well, yeah.
You know
but
what?
other
It would
shit
be
does.
sick to come back as a Tasmanian tiger, and then be the first of its kind. Back in then at that point, I get a cushy life in
Nah.
the zoo.
Give
I'm
me-
chilling. People feed me.
Give-
So then, if you could come back as an animal, are you then opening the door to be like, oh yeah, I want to come back as a T-Rex?
Damn. All right,
Like,
Joe. Now you're
is
like
it
you're thinking
per-
here.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I said a throwaway comment about something that I thought would be a 3-second joke, and now we're gonna go into a topic for it. So
Absolutely,
running with it.
absolutely.
this is not where I thought we were going.
Damn, dude. What? I mean, fuck, dude. What is an animal that is like?
Type in the
Spinosaurus?
comments,
I need to get a
listeners, what
gunshot.
animal you would come back
Hey.
as.
I need to
Thank
get a
you.
gunshot noise on my soundboard.
Yeah. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
What do you come back as, bro?
That's a deep
That is
question.
a deep
All
question.
right, guys. Well, with that, we're gonna wait until next week to answer it. Meaning, fuck that. We're never gonna answer that question.
I'll
that
answer it next
has
week.
been episode number 147 of From the Sidelines. Before we get out of here and before we finish up with our guest Smiley Joe, we got a couple things we got to do. We do them every week. Brando, who is the cool guy of the week for this week?
Copying and linking right now. This cool guy. I couldn't find a name.
Another TikTok.
No, actually,
Ooh,
Instagram.
an Instagram.
Is it is the cool guy of the week the pufferfish that the dolphins get high on?
Nah, fuck that pufferfish.
No.
no,
No, actually, no, it is not.
We're calling this guy. I don't know, just the server. You know, because he's serving
the
up.
server?
He's serving up sandwiches.
Oh.
That's a Jason Statham movie right there.
Dude, he's serving up knuckle sandwiches. So no, he gets he gets attacked by a drunk
Oh.
guy, and I guess he's some type of some training. You could clearly see.
This man boxes.
Yeah.
This man boxes. That head movement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets-
No, this man
You'd like some
boxes.
fruit punch with that?
You literally, dude. 100%.
So let me describe it. The server or whatever is like on his phone at like a bar essentially, and this drunk customer comes up and essentially like attacks him, grabs him and like pushes him down. He falls down. He gets up as this drunk guy is coming over to take some swings at him.
Punch him.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he immediately squares up, throws a right hook.
No, Brandon, you're missing the best part. As he's getting up, he feints a fucking
Yeah.
left, so he slips a left hook from the guy.
Hits a right.
As he's backing up, he hits him with the fucking right jab, and then hits a underneath of this guy's two jabs,
Oh,
and
dude,
then
it
hits
was
him with the right cross.
fucking beautiful, and
Bro,
he dropped him.
This
It's
man
so
has done that combo
picture
in
perfect.
the gym 100 times, bro.
Dude.
God, I just watched it again. It is so clean.
It is. You don't even see his right hand hit him. You just see the
No.
guy's head just jolt.
Bounce off
Yeah.
the fucking concrete.
Yeah.
Damn,
God
dude.
damn.
Beautiful.
And you
the
know-
Does he hit him
server.
with an elbow in the first
Cool
punch?
guy
And the
of
way,
No,
you know, you
I
can tell
think
this is
he
a...
did. Oh, he did.
Was
it
it
wasn't
an
a
elbow?
cross. Wait.
No, I thought he didn't connect all the way on that.
Yeah,
first
definitely
hit.
might have been an elbow. Definitely might have been an
It
elbow.
looks like an elbow, but it could also be the angle because
Yeah.
we're at it could be his follow through. I'm trying to see if it'll play one more time.
Yeah. That's,
Let me see. Yeah, I'm getting right to
You know,
it.
and you know this guy
Oh,
is a fighter
maybe.
without a doubt because he is not just continuously
Oh.
beating this dumbass's
No,
face
we
in.
missed it. That's an elbow. He's leading. He's leading with his elbow.
That's crazy
It's
because they're
first
so
thing
close.
fucking-
Yeah.
dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, and then that
This
punch
man's a
right
fucking
to the
fighter,
fucking
bro.
chin, like
I
basically pushing his
guarantee
jaw
you
back.
that bro's at least a blue belt in BJJ.
I mean, honestly, dude, that's pretty like on the feet right there. You know, that might
Well,
be
that's
some.
no,
fucking-
but that's striking. But the elbow tells me that it's MMA type training
for sure.
because he's
without
not
a doubt.
just like
And plus,
stand up
you can
boxing.
he's contained because he's not fucking beating his face in once he's on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, no respect
He
to
knows.
That takes like some serious restraint
Yes,
after a
because
guy
remember
like
when
that's been
street
attacking
fights
you.
used to stay on your feet. You know, you didn't go to the ground. With
And
all
also,
these...
look at his face. He's done that before, multiple times. He's probably
Oh, yeah,
the guy
100%.
that kicks the people out of the bar over there. It's like, all right, buddy, get out of here. Go
What
back
if
home.
it's just a normal bar, like a guy just getting his food, and he's just like,
It probably.
why is this
it
guy
probably
attacking
was.
me for no reason?
Man,
Oh, like a patron. Like he wasn't. Like
Yeah,
he didn't work
Patreon,
there.
yeah.
Not well. Patron is a different. It's an actual word itself.
No, he's Patreon.
yeah, just
Subscribe
like
to
the
FTS.
odds. Whatever.
Patreon, so we can get these guys sponsoring
By
the
the
hobby horse.
USHHC.
Yep, 45. Because apparently, if I swear to God, send me the link there where it says $200. I need to see this. We will do it. If
We
it
need to take a
is.
screenshot
I
of it,
swear
because
to
if they're
God.
like, oh, it's actually 400, be like, well, dude, what does the screenshot say, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then we
like,
sue and then we
I'm
own
with
the
the
league.
timestamp.
I'm telling our Patreon, if we get to the level where we can do it, we will 100% do it. I just need to figure out what the
100%.
level is.
Easily we'll do it. Honestly, dude. Oh, bro. Okay, another thing is that's kind of cool. So once I was done reffing, right, Ryan, you'd be proud, bro. I was taking my camera, I was filming, and I'm collabing on a Do Fort video, so it's actually pretty sick.
Ooh.
You know, so I'm practicing a little bit. You know, had my little stabilizer.
Dictionary. A patron is a person who gives financial or other support to a person, organization, cause, or activity. Definition number 2, a customer, especially a regular one of a store, restaurant, or theater. I used the word correctly. I rest my case. I was looking that up that whole time. Sorry, I just had to cut in with that.
It's okay. Did you even hear what I said?
No, yes, you were talking about Do For It, and you were collaborating with him on a video, and that I was going to be
'cause
very proud of you
'cause
for it. I
'cause
do listen.
I was filming.
I've hit many girls
Dude.
with that same fucking trick multiple times. It's
Well,
it's one of
first
my
of all,
favorite things
one,
to
I ain't
do.
no typical
You
bitch,
look at
first of all, let me
you
just
look
say.
at their phone, you
I
look at
ain't
your
no
phone, and then they
bitch.
think
Yeah.
you're not listening,
This
and then
guy.
the whole time you listen, and then you're like, yeah, that's what you said, babe. You asked if I wanted to go to your mom's house for Mother's Day, and I said no.
Hell no.
So,
Hell fucking no.
fuck the in-laws.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Not
I
in this
can't-
case. Not in this case.
I can't say that.
This kid, yeah, Brent, you can't say that right now because you'd die.
You know, but overall, you know,
behind
Ryan,
enemy lines.
it felt cool when I was getting some really good angles. I got some good footage of like Dylan and J-Bo in there with the trees, and it was like them winning the match, right? And I was filming for like 15 minutes of inside the pits perspective. So, they're gonna be a cool
Hell
collaboration video,
The good stuff.
definitely. So, sent it to 240 yesterday, so gonna be pretty sick. Excited. But anyway,
It was funny. Hatch told me in our DM, he was like, "Yeah, Ryan, you're gonna be proud of me. I was doing filming and shit." And I was like, "You better have the welts to prove it." He was like, "Oh, I was in the pits, bro." And I was like, "Yeah, pussy."
no, but I did get some pretty sick Polaroids of on the field. So
Those
I
were
was
cool.
taking photos on the field.
Dude, I was surprised.
You got
Hey,
fucking
hey, don't show
white
those for free.
thigh
Don't show those
bruises.
for free.
You got fucking
Yeah, bro,
Hey,
you
hey,
cover
hey,
the
hey,
random
cover
ass
the feet.
fucking
Damn!
shit.
Cover the feet.
All right. No, fuck it.
Patreon content
Damn,
only.
dude. Yeah, bro.
Patreon
How else are we
content
supposed to get
only.
the fucking 45?
Yeah, come on, guys. But yeah, boys. So yeah, we got to finish this podcast. Cool guy of the week, the server. Appreciate that. Hatch, what is the code word of the week tonight?
Code word of the week. Skies out, thighs out, boys.
Yeah, baby.
Skies out, thighs out. That's
Yeah.
a legendary
Skies out,
quote.
thighs out.
Legendary quote. So,
Brando, let's get it one more time too. I mean, Joe
All
did
right,
it. Might
all
as
right.
well. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, boys.
Thighs out,
hey,
thighs out.
hey.
Here we go. The thighs are out.
damn, dude, I can't. All right. I got my
Come on, Hatch. Come on,
my
Hatch.
thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There it is.
I got
Guys out,
my
guys
pasty
out.
white
Love
boys out.
that.
Dirty white boy. You know?
You did not miss tonight. We love that, Hatch.
So, it feels good. You know, when he said skies out, thighs out earlier, I'm like, oh. Fuck.
You gotta go back and look at the footage to see how he reacted.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, I'm gonna really enjoy having to stitch together 3 separate recordings from you because you decided to, you know,
I
happened,
I
Brando?
don't know.
Shitty-ass
I don't
computer
know.
and
I'm like,
internet.
I'm looking. My computer overheat. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I gotta prop.
shut
it up
off?
I
on
don't know what you were
something.
trying to show us
It
there
did.
because we couldn't see because of your internet,
I was
but the
looking.
audience will be able to see, and that's okay. Boys, let's go ahead and get on out of here before Brandon's computer fucking crashes again and I want to kill myself. So make sure you go ahead and rate the show. That's going to help me delay the time until the inevitable when I finally have the sweet release of death. If you give me a 5-star rating on Patreon, or not Patreon, on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts, it's going to delay it by a week. So just know that you're fighting fighting the good cause over there. It is free to do, and it helps promote us in the algorithm. More people are going to hear the show, and more people are going to give us a 5-star rating. So it's a snowball effect. Make sure you head over there and do that real quick for us. Subscribe on those platforms as well. You're going to get a notification when the next show is live and ready to go, which is weekly on Tuesdays. We have not missed in 147 weeks, and we do not plan on doing it yet. We also got the Patreon. Make sure you guys head over there, patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. We've got the post show, which we're going to be getting into in just a few minutes here, as well as bonus episodes, extra content, ad-free episodes, just a whole bunch of extra stuff over there on the Patreon. So make sure you go check it out, patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. And then we've got our sponsors for tonight. We've got NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy, the awesome little energy pouch. Go grab some from them. Promo code MafiaProductions. Buy two, get one free. And then we also have got Welts Clothing, weltsclothing.com. Promo code FTS over there with them. And then last but not least, the new guns. Hormesis Paintball. I think it's hormesispaintball.com, I believe is the URL. I will get better at that as it goes along.
It's new. We're learning.
And as I said, we will have more stuff from them in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to them. Appreciate them coming on to sponsor the podcast. We appreciate their support. All right, well, boys, that's been episode number 147. We did it. We got through it. Joe, before we get out of here, last thing from you. If someone wants to kind of catch up with you, where can they find you on Instagram, social media? Is there a certain spot you want to point people
to?
towards?
Feet pics.
Ooh. Feet pics, that's for the after show. We only give that
perfect
link to people on the after show.
Perfect.
If people want to find me, Smiley Joes Photos is Instagram. Facebook, I don't really use, but Smiley Joe on YouTube as well. If you want to follow along on the bee journey, that's where I'll be posting YouTube videos. But Smiley Joe Photos on Instagram, that's where you can find me.
Amazing.
Well, perfect. Nice and easy. And guys, we haven't talked about it yet, but in the Patreon post show, there is a foot cam. So all of us have a secondary camera that we turn on just for that one. So if you want that, come find us over there. For Brandon, Brando, Baird, for Stephen Hatch, for our special guest, Smiley Joes Photography. My name is Ryan Mafia Moffat. This has been From the Sidelines, episode number 147. And we are going to see you guys on the next one. Hatch, go ahead. Do that thing you do.
Bye.
See you guys later.